I'm a Milky Way bar.
I'm a beef jerky stick.
I'm a Twix.
I'm a dark chocolate Milky Way bar.
I'm Master Chief without his helmet.
I'm a Butterfinger.
I'm Groot.
And we're the Idiot Savants. And you're listening to Crazy Train of Thought on the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts. And that way it's kind of like Mario if you were on an acid trip and you had guns.
It's like The Bachelor. Do you have any roses?
First America.
Now there are two of them.
You'll be texting him saying, fuck this game.
Sanji from One Piece.
I'll fucking filibuster this motherfucker.
It's like a wild Meowth appears. I'm like, what the fuck is this Justin Meowth here?
Totally original game.
But man, what a fucking idiot.
We're going off the rails on a crazy train of thought.
Check a look.
Alright, welcome everybody to Crazy Train of Thought, brought to you by the Idiot Savants. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am your host, Ryan Wolf. On today's episode, I have
Pokemaster Troy Osborn.
Pokemaster Troy Osborn joins us. Welcome, Troy.
Cody Slabaugh.
Cody Slabaugh is here. World's most professional gamer. Next, Malacum, Dog Barker, Dog Whisperer. Thank you for joining us, Malcolm.
You got Sam, the most unprofessional gamer in the world.
Sam, unprofessional. Romero's here. Glad you're here, buddy.
Austyn, moderate professional gamer.
Yeah.
Torres.
Yeah, okay. Austyn Torres, thank you for joining us, man. Welcome
Casual.
back. Welcome back.
Filthy casual.
Lastly,
Pro gamer Colin Giffy.
Pro VR gamer
Just pro gamer.
Colin Giffy.
I've been wrecking kids in Call of Duty.
Dude, you'd make
What
it
about
into Spy
Pavlov?
Kids.
Pavlov has been... I got accused of hacking the other day. So I'm like every
You're
game.
too good.
Like I was going 14-0 when a guy tried kicking me. He's like, dude, you're hacking, bro. How did you see me? I'm like, I can hear you. Like, I can see with my ears.
I'm Daredevil.
I am Daredevil, yeah.
I'm a magician.
Bro, I'm not even playing with the headset on.
Your surround
I
system.
took the headset off, bro. I'm just using the controllers right now.
You're in VR without VR?
Exactly.
That's amazing.
R.
That's some next level shit.
You just see a guy with his head down shooting people.
All right, well, listeners, this is actually part 2 of our episode last week. We put out part 1, 2019 Idiot Royale Video Games Part 1, I think was
It's a long name, but we got
the end
it.
of that title, or the
Yeah.
end of that
I
full
couldn't
title.
even fit it in the Twitter post.
So we are back for part 2 of 2019 Idiot Royale Video Games. So,
It's time to bust some heads together.
yeah, we're going to bust some heads
You
today.
ready, Sam? Everyone pull out your notes.
I'm ready.
We've got...
Ready?
Okay, I'm sorry. Oh,
Ah, you made
you
a
got it on
mess.
the couch.
You got some drippage, man.
Beautiful.
You
and
got some premature
spilled
drippage there.
Spilled it on yourself.
You got some on the couch, too.
Look that up.
Yeah, you gotta look it up
This
now.
will be
You
the
gotta
fluids
clean up
couch.
your own
We're going
mess,
to get you a
man.
bib for that next time.
The worst part is I got a
barrier.
cough drop on, so I can't even.
Can we get a
drink
high
this
chair?
right now.
Can we get excuse me, waitress? Yes.
We are at Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah, we are
Yeah.
at Texas Roadhouse. So.
Can we get more buns?
We'll start with the hoedown.
I'll give you
This
some
is the
buns.
hoedown showdown. Here we go.
Yeehaw!
Read off our top 10 games right now.
Okay,
Ryan.
yeah. So this is we have a top 10 list that we narrowed it down from, I think, like 22 or 24 games we started with last week. And we have talked about a few of these already in no particular order. These are the ones we need to get to this week. And what we're going to do, we're going to talk about these 10 games that I'm about to read off. And then we are going to narrow this down to a list of 5. And then we are going to sort that list of 5 out and make a top 5. So, here's what we have left. We have Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, Star Wars Jedi, Fallen Order, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, Days Gone, Gears 5, The Outer Worlds, Pokemon Sword Shield, My Friend Pedro, Control, and Rage 2 left on the list. So, of the ones that are on this list, last week we covered Days Gone, we covered Gears 5, and we covered Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, before we had to call it quits because everyone was about to pass out. So, we're back this week, like I said, to talk about the rest. So I don't care where we start.
You know,
I say let's,
a wolf looks at the pack and he sees the weak ones wobbling around, but then he realizes he's a hungry wolf and he wants a big meal, right? So he looks at the nice, fat, juicy one called Star Wars Jedi
Yeah,
Fallen
that's what I was
Order.
gonna. That's what I was gonna say.
I would like
A
to
fellow
talk
wolf
about
would know,
this.
because it's a glitchy
A lot
piece
of
of
us,
crap.
a lot of us have played it since
That's true.
our re-record.
Since we first did this.
Since we first did this.
Yeah,
the
and we
first
are
time.
redoing
Because I
it.
saw. Were you playing it with Troy's game
No,
share, or was Troy playing with yours?
Yeah, Troy was playing with
Okay,
my account. So
okay.
I've played it. Troy has played it. I think Malcolm even played it.
Yeah, it popped over
Okay.
for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of us
but
have
you-
played it already.
But, Colin and Austyn, you guys both beat it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So why don't you guys start and maybe we'll just kind of pepper in as we go.
You want to start?
But just know your
Milady?
opinion actually doesn't matter.
Wait, who's going first?
Because ultimately...
Rock, paper,
You.
scissors.
Okay, I guess I'll go first. Jedi Fallen Order. I'm a little bit biased when it comes to this game because it's a Star Wars game, so I'll just start off by saying that. But I absolutely love this game. For those of you who don't know, it is basically for those, I don't know if you guys know whoever doesn't know the Star Wars timeline, you need to know it. Become a Star Wars fan. But it takes place after Episode 3. Yeah, after Episode 3, before Episode 4.
After
and
Order 66.
the game starts off and you are basically just a worker on a what is it?
Scavenging
planet.
gear
It's a scavenging planet.
Yeah. So and basically you're force sensitive, and that's basically just how the story starts off. Is that you discover that you can use you discover that your character can use the force, and I lose my train of thought.
Already?
Already.
You barely started.
That bang's- I gotta wait for that bang, man.
You haven't even departed from the
I haven't even
station
defined.
yet.
Okay.
Austin?
Well, I don't want to explain the whole game.
No, go ahead.
No, I mean, I think we can just tell listeners, like, okay, it's a third-person action game, and you get force powers as you play the game. It plays like Dark Souls, basically. You can do Jedi shit, like deflecting light or blaster bolts, blaster fire with your lightsaber, and you have a parry system during the melee combat, and
I am terrible at that.
I am also terrible at that.
That's something you got to get used to.
I'd
That's
like
why I
to take
just
a crack
changed
at
mine to
that.
story mode.
I was about to do that for real.
It's
I don't know.
frustrating.
You want to talk about
Can
it
I
a little
call
bit,
you out
Austin?
real quick?
Get it.
So I accidentally was playing Ryan's game for like I was mad because when I restarted the game the next day, I was like, it didn't save. I was like, oh, this bullshit. It's got issues. We knew this. It's a glitch thing. And then I got an achievement and it was blue. That motherfucker barely played this game.
Yeah, I did my best. I explored that first
So you
planet.
didn't play that much at all.
Like,
I
you
mean,
know how,
Yeah.
well, I hadn't got to talk about it on this episode, but the the last recording, I called out that frog monster that I fought. And he didn't remember it because he didn't get there yet. He was like 2 stages behind that frog on the first planet.
I mean, I beat that whole first planet.
Yeah.
I eventually left that first planet, and I got to the cutscene after that first planet, and that was pretty much it. I didn't
Well, it
even
didn't
make
save.
it to the next planet. And that is possible. I didn't even finish that cutscene, I don't think,
Okay.
because I was
What
like,
kinda-
fuck it, I'm going to bed.
What kind of frog was it?
It's a
giant
basilisk.
Some sort of like insane frog? Some sort of...
It's like a giant,
Like a
giant frog that
crazy
attacks you and
frog?
kills you.
Ba, 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 ba,
He's like the
ba, ba,
first enemy you should just avoid.
yeah. Because it's not, I mean,
If you beat him, you get a poncho. Congratulations.
So I think my favorite thing about this game so far, and like I said, haven't played much of it, escaped the first train planet, basically, that you're on, and then you get picked up by a ship, and then you're like, oh, fuck, you're a Jedi? Well, let's go do some Jedi shit. So you go to this Jedi planet, and then pretty much from
You find
there,
an
you do
adorable
more
robot.
Jedi shit. And you find a robot there, and the robot is R2-D2 in miniature mode,
Of course.
piggybacking.
BD8, not BB8, BD8.
BD8.
I hate how they try to push these cute droids. They're not even
he's
cute.
adorable.
It's too similar in
He
name,
is pretty
though.
cute.
No,
and
they're
it's also,
dumb.
like, why not
Why?
make it,
Something else.
TS6 or something?
Yeah, like literally.
T1000.
Like BD8. BB-8's in start. No, it's BD8. Oh. Is he like related to him?
So yeah, you get to this
cousin.
first planet, and then the objective is to use the mechanics of the game to traverse the world and make it through to the next plot point.
Yeah.
Which is the thing that I don't like.
You don't like?
I don't like exploring the world because I don't think any of that feels particularly good.
It's not like... I don't like exploring a lot of games, like a lot of open world games. I don't have fun trying to look around and try to find stuff. This one, it doesn't force you to. You don't have to.
I see what you
but
did
it
there.
definitely does help if you do, because you can find more stims and things like that, especially if you are playing on more of a higher difficulty.
Yeah.
But I didn't spend too much time. Like I only ended up with like 4 stims, which you can end up with what you said,
Like 10.
like 10, yeah, like 10 stims.
So you did, yeah.
Which I
So
only,
there's reasonable. There's a reason besides just cosmetics.
yeah.
And
to
lore.
Find those little boxes to open that the robot jumps into.
The lore, I think, is debatable because most of it is when you do, at least that I've seen, like unlock a lore sequence, the main character might say some shit that he probably shouldn't know anyways about a character. And then maybe every once in a while the droid pops in and is like, here's the thing that happened here. Or the Force... Like, he can feel what happened in an area based on his Force abilities.
Yeah, he's got a special power where he's like an empath or empath.
Empath.
Where, like, he can, when he goes to an area, it glows blue.
Yeah.
And then he can put his hand there and feel and tell what happened there and why it happened.
Like this stormtrooper died doing this or
Yeah.
something like that. Like it's kind of like a Can you do that in that one Lord of the Rings game? I can think of it.
You're thinking Shadow of Mordor.
Shadow of Mordor. I don't know if that's a power in Shadow of Mordor.
He can
but
kind of like revisit. I don't know. Like he can
His
like
ghost-
trail people,
Yeah.
but I don't think he can like feel the sentiment of people that were there before.
Okay, I couldn't remember that, but that was a good game too.
He just feels some of the stuff that Kellen Brimbor does.
Do you want to add it to the list?
No, that was a while ago.
Did George Lucas have anything to do with this game?
George Lucas said no, I don't believe so.
All right, so
no.
we can just kind of scratch that one off.
What
the
do you
list.
got to say about Fallen Order there, Austin?
It is a very glitchy game.
Yeah,
I had
it
pretty
is.
bad experiences with it. I had a giant monster, invisible monster, killing me,
No, it was supposed to be
No, I
talked
invisible.
about that.
and I was just stuck.
Turn up your render distance.
On my how turn up on my Xbox. Gotcha.
No, literally, like
Gotcha.
the whole scene was you like just floating in the air, right?
Yeah, because
Like it was a cutscene. Like why did it even like why is he not there? It's a cutscene.
I was climbing up this wall, and the monster was chasing me, and then I got to the top, and technically I made it, but the monster killed me. So then the cutscene continued without me. Okay, so then I respawn and I jump on the wall again and nothing's chasing me. So I'm like, okay, this is weird. So I keep on running up the top. I get to the top and then I don't know where my guy just gets grabbed by nothing and he's just like sitting there like squished. He's like, and he starts flying away into the distance. And he's just like, literally looks like somebody's using the Force on him, just like swinging him around in the air.
Yeah, that was the game. It's The Force Awakens, don't you know?
Vader's got you. Daddy Vader's got you.
Now kiss.
Now, Kith.
Yeah, so and then he just started stabbing the air and you ended up falling and then you have to actually land on the monster, but since he was invisible, I couldn't see the monster. So I was just in an infinite loop of dying over and
my
over
God.
and
Oh,
over
it didn't
again.
fix itself.
No.
Yo.
I had to restart the game. Yeah.
That's
That is
incredible.
Incredibly glitchy and crappy.
Yeah.
I would say.
It seems like the main draw to this game is the story, though.
Yeah.
Like from what you guys
It's
talked
canon.
about on the last episode, when we
canon.
did cover that
Yeah,
episode,
we should probably talk about it.
the it's not canon episode.
It is canon.
Yep.
It's
Yo, I thought you said George
It's
Lucas
canon.
didn't have
Like,
anything to do
It's
with this.
canon, but let me say this: it honestly doesn't matter in the long
Yes.
run of things.
Yes.
It is canon. It happened.
well in the same way
like
that
Rogue
Rogue One
One.
is canon.
Yeah, exactly.
But Rogue One is an awesome movie.
Yeah,
it's
it
probably my
is.
favorite
Yeah.
Star Wars movie. So I'm not
Yeah.
saying just because it doesn't ultimately matter to the fate of the galaxy doesn't mean it's not important or
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
I guess that's the argument that I want to make.
for those of you, we didn't really talk about like the objective of the game though. Like the reason those people get you on their ship and they say like, oh, you're Jedi. It's because you can use your force powers to discover the secrets as to where this holocron?
Yeah.
Holocron is. That'll show you where all the force sensitives are, like all the force sensitive children. So the goal of the game is to do that so they can rebuild the Jedi Order.
And
So
you see
that's-
some of the 12 brothers and sisters that are the people that are hunting the Jedis right
Okay.
after episode 3. So
They look like
And they're
Knights
called
of Ren.
Inquisitors. Is that what you're talking about? You're talking about Inquisitors?
yeah, the Inquisitors. Yeah, sorry.
You mean the Knights of Ren that we saw all of 4 seconds of in the movie?
Hey,
Hey, they were cool. Okay,
who hasn't seen it yet?
We've all seen it, but
Damn it.
we don't know about the podcast people.
I mean, we saw him in
It's
one.
literally probably out of theaters, like coming up soon.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, it's not, he says.
I was going to go see it last night.
It's
And
been out for
then
almost
what?
over a month now.
I was 30 minutes late.
Because Movies
Jesus.
14, they stopped playing it this weekend.
Well, I just know
So I think
that I was there
Wednesday's
yesterday.
the last day
And the
you can-
last showing started at 7:20, and I got there at 8:20.
You made
Yeah,
it
no
to
good.
the theater?
Well, no, I went to the theater to pick up my pregnant wife popcorn and fill up our bucket. But I was like, since I'm here, can I watch Star Wars?
Hey, you gonna buy a movie? No.
No, I'm just here for the
Do you know how
popcorn.
often we fill up that bucket? It's $5
Dude,
and
oh
it's
my
so
gosh.
much popcorn.
You're
and it's
having
good.
another kid?
Yes.
Dude, congrats.
Thanks.
Is that-
Oh, no, you're actually.
I mean,
I completely missed that.
Does that deserve a congrats?
No, I mean congratulations, but also like there's microwave popcorn, bud.
Yeah, bro.
It's not as
Yeah,
good.
Dude, you gotta get that
Just buy your own popcorn.
popcorn, the butter
Yeah, what
flavored
you
salt
should
that you get on
do-
there.
It's $5.
How big of a
To
bucket are we
refill
talking?
it every time.
If you were to
Every
fill
time.
it with water, how
But you also
heavy
gotta
would it
think
be?
about your gas all the way there.
I didn't come out here just for that.
Okay.
I had to go
He
pick up
had the bucket
car
in
parts.
his back seat.
No, literally.
For the text message.
I'm in town anyway.
I was getting ready to leave. So now we're breaking into a story. But I was getting ready to leave, and my wife said, "Hold on." She ran to her car, started digging around in the back seat, and came back with a bucket and said, "Here you go. Fill this up on your way."
Ooh, so it was in the back seat, not clean?
It is clean.
Fuck
She
it.
washes it.
It's just got a bunch of lick marks in it.
Yeah,
That's how she cleans it.
we let the dog clean it. You know, he
Same
just
thing
starts
with the
licking it.
kids. They don't need a fucking shower. I licked them clean.
Yeah.
You smell like bad bread.
But I was like, I walked in and the lady's like,
Smell like popcorn.
"What you seeing tonight?" I said, "I'm filling up my popcorn bucket." "Oh, okay." And then I was like, I wonder what time Star Wars stops playing.
Yeah, right. She turned around and was like, fucking weirdo.
She probably did.
Comes your
No, I like that idea, Troy.
That's a good
You
idea.
should fill it with Junior Mint.
Let's get back to Jedi.
Okay, yeah, let's get back to Jedi, but tomorrow we're going to see Star Wars, Troy.
Okay.
Okay. Get after it.
Oh dang! I was gonna say I could come, but I
it's-
can't edit. All right. Well, for me, my experience, I didn't have too many bug issues, unlike a lot of people. Like I think I only had like the game. Like I only fell through the map like one time, and it was like I respawned like shortly after. So it was like probably like 30 seconds of me just falling to my death.
Yeah,
But,
NBD.
like,
They
it
didn't
wasn't-
break the fiction at all.
Yeah.
This happens all the time. It was
a bad dream.
Like
Yeah,
when
it's
Ray
It's at
went
the
into
beginning
that
of the
pit.
game. It was before I went through the story a little bit, but
It's in the game. It's canon, Ryan.
it's canon. It's canon. You
It's
fell through the
canon.
map.
Then the
The
floor
world
just
is
opened
flat.
up.
I was playing on my One X and I was disappointed by the frames that were dropped in this game.
Yeah.
Cannon frames.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you got to play on a better console there, buddy. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, it should be
should
the
be
most
fine.
powerful
The best
console on the
console.
market. Let's
Yeah, true.
fuck.
So for PC, no. I'm kidding.
So
Listen,
let's
you're
get
not
into
kidding.
some of
Master
the,
Race, motherfucker.
some of the specifics about like, do you like playing the game? What's your favorite thing about playing the game? That kind of stuff.
I love playing the game because it has a lot of elements brought from like basically like the countering system for Dark Souls, like Uncharted, Assassin's Creed kind of feel. Like it has a mixture of a lot of the games that I really loved playing and really enjoyed.
The cinematics are really well done.
Yeah, the cinematic, like I said again, like I'm pretty Star Wars biased, so I absolutely love this game, like in the lore and like getting a lightsaber. Like I wish there was more like cosmetics and things like that. Like you are searching for those things, but it's just ponchos. Like why can't you have like an actual Jedi outfit? Why is there not like a way you can get like basically like Obi-Wan robes or something like that. You know, like that'd be cool.
Where's that shit at?
So
Yeah.
you don't get one. You get one lightsaber. That's it.
No, you get different ones throughout the game. You get like
but it
total,
also
like 3.
doesn't matter because
It's
they don't.
just- it's just
only,
cosmetic looks.
Right. It's only cosmetic looks. They don't do
Yeah.
anything.
The upgrade system is really cool. Like I like a lot of like the different upgrades you can do. Like you have your force powers that you can upgrade your attacks and then your defense, like your health and all that.
your health.
So
I wanted that system to be better, though. Like, just from I did not play a huge amount of it, like I said, but I wanted, I guess, more full-blown RPG for what I would appreciate. You know, like give me a different lightsaber that does +3 damage, or you know,
a lightsaber's a lightsaber, Ryan. Unless it's a different color, it doesn't matter.
The lightsaber's not a lightsaber. You can put different crystals in it that affect the blade.
Actually, it's the same crystal, but it's only affected by the force of the person that's
Wrong.
into it.
There are
That is
different
canon.
focusing crystals.
We'll talk about this
lightsabers.
afterwards. We'll
Pause.
talk about this afterwards.
Sam is correct. In Star Wars universe, the Jedis turn their lightsaber on with their force powers.
then what about
And that's fine. I didn't say they can't affect the lightsabers. I'm saying there are focusing crystals that can help change the way the blade looks and comes out.
like Kylo Ren's, for
like
example?
Kylo Ren's,
Yeah.
for example. That is a different focusing crystal
but
in the lightsaber.
It's red because of his attunement
It's
to
not
the
the
dark
color.
side.
It's not the color.
not the color.
The color
There's
does
a color
matter.
crystal and there's a focusing crystal. Fuck off. All
For
right.
instance, the green ones are attuned for more force-sensitive people, and also the blue ones are attuned for more people that have defensive, more lightsaber.
We'll talk about this later.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about this later. We'll debate the merits of Star Wars
All right,
lore.
you guys
Yellow
think
is for Sentinels.
Jedi compared to all the other games
Well,
should
I want to get Austin's thoughts
okay.
real quick.
Combat is really, really fun.
Yep.
Just
Okay.
fucking pulling people towards you and then stabbing your lightsaber inside
Yeah.
of them.
I
Oh
wanna
my
do
god.
that. I haven't
It's
got to do
so
that yet.
I do
fun.
want to do that. That
It's
sounds
fun.
awesome.
And then just killing the stormtroopers. They're
I
just
like just bouncing the. I feel cool when I bounce the bolts back at him. It's
Yeah.
like fuck you,
wait till
fuck
you get
fuck you.
wait till you get a double bladed
Fuck
lightsaber
yeah.
and you can like run and do it at the same time.
yeah. And
Like,
then if
so you can run towards your enemies while deflecting bullets back at them and kill them. It is awesome.
If there's like 10 people that are shooting you at the same time and you block with the double lightsaber, it fucking just, they all go flying back. It just feels so good because they're just blocking them all and he's just going, beep, 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 beep. He's just blocking them all and they're going flying back to killing everybody.
I wish when you did you blocked for the sentry gun thing or the machine gun, the big one. I wish it actually hit him, but it doesn't. It just bounces all over the place, and then you got to kill him.
Well, that's what I'm talking about too. Yeah, you can actually bounce it back to him.
Eventually?
Eventually, yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I would do, and oh man, I love that. I love it so much.
Once you get more force powers and stuff like that, the game becomes a lot more fun.
Yeah.
But it is dumb. This is one thing that's stupid. I mean, like it's a video game, but like lightsabers don't do any damage when you're on a higher difficulty. It
Yeah.
takes so long to kill people. You hit a stormtrooper like 10 times with your lightsaber, and you're like, oh, you're still not dead. You just have weird red marks all over your body. Cool.
It's crazy.
No dismemberment in this
Those
game.
look like burn marks.
No,
Maybe not.
there is on the animals, just
Yeah.
not on the
No,
people.
yeah, there's
Slice the
you can
animals in
slice
half.
animals' heads off, but you
Doesn't
cannot
slice
slice a
people.
stormtrooper's head
That's
off.
Disney's
That would
fault.
have been cool. No, like you whack off one of their arms and they're trying to, still fight
I've
you.
always wanted to whack the animals off, Malcolm. That's my favorite.
Are you a dog breeder?
I guess I should watch
right.
my words more carefully.
He's got that
All right.
shot collar now.
Anybody else have any more comments about this game?
Does this game make you like? Is this one of the best games that lets you feel like a Jedi playing?
Part of the story is that you were a Padawan learner, and then you get disconnected from the Force basically because of Order 66. And so, like, you can't reconnect with that because obviously they'll hunt down and kill you. So he basically avoids the Force all his life. So it's not going to let you know what it feels like to be an all-powerful Jedi because he never was, because he only had Padawan, like, learning capabilities. He was only, like, what, like 10, 11, 12 years
He was
old
10,
when
yeah.
Order 66 happened. So, like, that's the last thing he remembers. And, like, those Force powers are the only thing he remembers how to do. And Padawans weren't, like, great, obviously, per
Right.
Anakin killing them, you know? So... yeah, so that's, you gotta take in consideration that it's not gonna be like Force Unleashed where you're just this all-powerful dude just killing everybody and wreaking havoc on everybody you come in contact with. It's like you gotta be way more careful with how you play and like be more strategic about the way you attack. So,
Does the Darth Vader sequence in this game
Spoiler alert.
maybe like does that, because when you guys were telling us this on the first episode and you told us about that Darth Vader sequence, I was like, holy fuck, that's badass. Does that alone help it stay on this list, or are we okay with not having it on this list? I don't know if we need to go into specifics.
That
but
Darth Vader scene made me scream, but that's Star Wars bias, though.
I don't know,
as
man.
a
Like,
normal-
that's fucking cool.
yeah.
I'm kind of like somebody who's like, okay, I kind of hate Star Wars, but I kind of love Star Wars at the same time. I'm kind of
Oh,
like,
you're a regular Star Wars fan?
I'm kind of I'm kind of loving this, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, besides the utter glitchiness and cruddyiness of the game, like, honestly,
I
this sounds
think it's
like
a
big-
beautiful
things that they
looking
can
game,
patch out,
and it's
too.
a really, like, the sounds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It
the
sounds
thing
like
that
big
I noticed
fun
the
to
first
me.
time through was
Yeah.
like, holy fuck, this sounds like Star Wars.
Yeah,
like,
it looks
I hooked my
good.
speakers up upstairs that Rachel let me get for my birthday, and I played it in surround. Like, oh my god, this is awesome.
So this should stay on the list for now for one reason. All the random ass slides.
Oh, yeah, like you
it's
go
like-
down so many slopes, and then you have to jump, and then a lot of times if you don't jump correctly, you die.
Yeah.
And then it's terrible because you're playing on a higher difficulty. You respawn at your last checkpoint, and it puts you kind of far
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, little did you know you were playing Shoots and Ladders.
Oh,
Yeah, literally.
Shoots and ladders,
Jedi shoots and
edition.
ladders.
Jedi shoots and ladders. All right, let's underline this. Maybe we can come back to the full Darth Vader sequence if we want to later. What next?
Rage 2.
Okay. I have a lot to say about Rage 2.
I'm sure you do.
No,
So-
he pulling up the notes.
So I'm glad you brought that up. I do have some
now
notes
I have to
here.
read his notes.
Oh my goodness. I just
So-
saw you open a page.
This is not all Rage 2. This is all my game notes here. But Rage 2 is a sequel to the 2011 smash hit by id Software, Rage.
Definitely not a smash hit. But look at the ratings. It's definitely way under 5 stars, but it's fine.
I really liked it. I thought that I would never get to traverse the world of Rage again. And having really liked the game that id put together in the first game, I thought that story was kind of over. And in a lot of ways it is. Rage 2 doesn't really have a whole lot in common with the first game. So the first game wanted to be open world with linear style levels, but the second game really blows that out. So the second game is actually fully open world. You play as a guy named Walker that starts out as just kind of this mercenary, I guess, in a camp. And the camp gets attacked by mutants, these really powerful half mutant, half
Wolverine.
robot hybrids.
Wolverine comes and kills
some
you.
Sort of super mutants, you could say.
Sure.
Marvel
We'll call them
super mutants.
Yeah, I mean, it shares a lot of DNA with Fallout. I
wasn't insinuating that.
Oh, seemed like you were. But it's fine, because it does.
Excellent.
There are arcs, a.k.a.
Vaults.
vaults.
Oh, okay.
that
I'm
you
insinuating that.
you can explore. But the vaults, the arcs.
Oh, he
are
said it
not-
himself.
Are not like, there's not much to explore there. You basically battle through some enemies to get into the arc and
Into
then
the overseer's office.
upgrade your shit and then leave.
Yeah.
So you start out as Ranger Walker, or you become a Ranger rather in the beginning sequence of the game.
Texas
And
Walker
Go
Ranger.
I
ahead.
was just about to say that, man. Wait, are you in Texas because your name is Walker and you are a ranger?
Or he's
Yes,
a zombie.
but it never goes that far as to say, go ahead, Troy.
So in the first sequence, which I played, you get a super suit. The dude that died using the super suit had these badass powers and was jumping around like crazy. You jump in the super suit and you can't do shit. You can't even jump over a rock.
And then you hear in the distance,
Honey, where's my super suit?
I didn't hear that one time going through the game. I just want you to know that.
I was yelling
well,
it
you
the whole
didn't
time
have
I
your
was
surround
playing
sound
it.
hooked up yet, did you? Yeah, I think so.
No, it's like one of
It
those
was in the
penalties
back
that
left
people
speaker.
put
Was
on.
it dub
That
or
wasn't
sub?
hooked up.
What?
Nothing.
Okay. So yeah, you get the suit like Troy's talking about, but for some reason that suit has reset itself, so you have 0 powers.
Good.
Like the one thing that you can do, I think, is a fairly powerful melee, and it seems to like they insinuate that it helps you shoot guns better. But like no reasoning behind that. Just like, okay, yeah, super suit, shoot guns, cool.
Throw back to Gears when you're using your your thing wrong when you thought it was melee hitting instead of the gun. Like heavy hitter was what it was.
Oh,
And you thought
yeah.
you start hitting people. You're like,
Yeah, just running up melee.
I do
and
more
I'm-
melee damage.
I do more melee.
melee.
I'm Sarah Connor. I do more
Just
melee.
Keeps
Just
dying.
like that, yeah.
Keeps dying constantly.
Yeah, I don't remember what episode I talked about that in, but man, what a fucking idiot.
I think it was Flock of Leeches.
That was okay.
of leeches.
Thank you, Flock of Leeches. So yeah, the super suit lets you get the ability to have the powers that the Ranger before you had, but you have to go out into the world and find them again. And there's no explanation for that. You're given a vehicle to drive in the open world because otherwise traversing it would be super boring. Because
I broke my vehicle and
just
tried to
gonna
just walk around.
Yep.
you can
Bad
just
idea.
restore your vehicle.
Didn't know how to do that.
Steal another one.
You walk up to it and you press X, and you hold X, and then it restores it. That's it.
I'm just gonna walk.
GTA 5, you just got to pull in one of those garages and pay.
Right.
If you
So,
don't. No, you don't. You'll pay.
The world is not as full as it probably could be. The best thing to do in the world is to get to an outpost and take it down. And I don't even remember what the outposts are called. But for lack of a better term, they're just outposts from Far Cry.
Another
essentially.
settlement needs your help.
Yeah, it's like, I guess, but it's more like Far Cry in that you go and eliminate the enemies and then they stay eliminated. Like you capture it and it stays yours.
So go.
But
They have roadblocks too.
and
like
there's roadblocks, yeah, that you're driving along, and there are experiences in the open world that you can't have if it wasn't an open world.
The convoys are pretty cool.
Yeah.
The convoys are really awesome. Some of the most fun I had playing games this year are from taking down the convoys. They're like these annihilator battles, so it's this giant vehicle that shoots traps that's surrounded by other smaller vehicles that are trying to prevent you from destroying said larger vehicle. So you Mad Max your way through these canyons, and you gotta avoid these traps, and there's like this Hammer of Dawn shit that's firing down, and it's all vehicle-based combat at that point, so you're shooting your rockets, you're shooting your bullets, or your machine guns on your vehicle, and the entire point is to take down the Annihilator, and then you get, like, pretty powerful upgrades from doing that. And that sequence, accompanied by a handful of others throughout the game, like, seriously, that was so much fucking fun.
If you're Troy, like I am,
Yes.
you get stuck in front of a sentinel that just keeps killing you, so you run away in your super suit that's not very super
Right.
yet, because I just started the game and was driving around because I didn't know where to go, and it kept changing my destination
Yeah.
on its own. It was like, oh, you should go here, but wait, go over there. And I was like, oh, I should probably get back to my car now. And I found it and was running across the road. Huh, people are coming. That's a big vehicle. Hi, people. And then I start running across the road. Poof! And I get launched up on top of a mountain. I survive. That's what the super suit's for. Came jumping back down the mountain, and when I got back to my vehicle, there's bad people surrounding it, and I can't get in my car.
That's the end of the story.
It's the end. I died.
It's me when I go to Gary.
I didn't have anything like that happen. Like
You
the
didn't get hit?
traversal. Well, no. Okay, so I didn't have any. I have rarely had any parts where I got out of my vehicle.
Oh,
Like,
that's
because
my
I
problem.
think I did it one time and I was like, there's nothing to find here. I'm traversing this world on foot and all of this is empty. Like, there's no reason to explore on foot. Like, the point of the game is not realism and it's not exploration. It's
Okay.
shoot some fucking shit. And that is the fun of the game. So I think I got into a gameplay loop where eventually I was like, okay, that's what this game is. I need to stop exploring and start shooting some fucking shit.
Okay.
And that's when it
That's
got
my
fun.
problem.
Yeah. And it's
I
not...
was looking around like, where should I go next? And
Yeah.
wasn't even shooting anything. Just
yeah,
drive
I mean, you
away
don't even
from
need
it.
to think about where you need to go. Just go somewhere and shoot something.
In
like,
the
that's the point. Shoot it
Okay.
in the fucking face.
I don't
next
know
place.
who I am or where I am, but all I know is that I must kill.
Yes, that's pretty much it. And this game is not weighed down by what I would call realism. The point is not
shoot shit.
Yeah, the point is to shoot shit and making that shooting shit feel really fun. And that's what a lot of the powers are for as well. Going back to the traveling across the world, though, I think maybe the game slows you down. Like, because you can be on one side of the road, look both ways, see the road, like, sprawling 20 feet in front of you and be like, I can make it. There ain't nobody coming. I look both ways. I know how traffic works. And then start running across the road, hear something coming to the side, and be like, oh, fuck. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. And then you get hit by a car.
It's because you spent all that time talking about how there's nothing coming. Like you see nothing coming, you look straight, you're like, oh, there's nothing coming, so I may be able to cross now. Okay, we're good.
And then I get hit by a car. And I bet that happened enough times where I felt like maybe the game wanted me to be hit by a car.
How are the corpse launches in this game? Are they pretty legendary?
They're pretty good.
They're not bad.
Okay,
yeah.
Good. I like that.
A lot of the enemies will just break into pieces as you destroy them. So my favorite thing about this game is going to an outpost and just running through it. Mm-hmm. So getting the shotgun and blowing people's heads off, going into overdrive, meleeing people, and blowing them into pieces as I melee them and running through their gore because I have like speed mode on in my overdrive is really cool. And there's nothing quite like that experience that I had this year in any moment playing a game. Like, there were parts in Rage 2 that cannot be recreated in other games because of the way the game is set up. There's a lot of drivable vehicles in the game. Any vehicle that you find in the open world, you can drive. There is a quest in the leftmost part of the map where you unlock a giant walking mech that can shoot, like, you have rocket launchers, you have a machine gun, you have like a giant grenade launcher on your back, and you have a stomp slam that creates this fireball that spews out from under you. So as you're walking through the world, you are just wrecking shit. And the only complaint with that is that you move about as fast as you do if you weren't in a vehicle, which is to say not very fast. So getting to a place to use that is pretty difficult because it is a slog because you're just like, okay, I'm almost there. All right, like really soon this is going to be fun. Like at any point this is going to be fucking cool.
3 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Can I skip to the point where this is fun, please? And I don't know, like, there is a way to spawn vehicles wherever you are. So the smarter part might have been driving there, spawning the mech, destroying shit. But, like, I got the mech. I want to fucking drive it. Like, I want to be in the mech. I want to destroy shit.
I just want to move half a mile an hour.
So, and a lot of that doesn't seem upgradable once you get to that point. The powers are upgradable. There's weapon trees. The weapons are upgradable. You find loot throughout the game that helps you attain better stuff. So there are RPG elements that help you with that. What did you guys think about that game, Austyn? I know you played it quite a bit.
I got my vehicle stuck a bunch of times.
Did you?
And I didn't know how to recall it, or I didn't get to the point where I was able to recall it. So
yeah, that's an unlockable ability to just respawn your vehicle, and that might have been good from the outset.
Yep.
Yeah, so I didn't know that.
Yep.
Mine was stuck in front of that sentinel thingy, and that's why I got out of it. I was like, well, it's dead. Bye.
Deuces.
What else, Austyn?
I mean, if I wanted to, I think playing Mad Max, driving those vehicles was a lot more fun than driving vehicles
like
in this.
The Mad Max, the 2015 Mad Max game that no one liked.
Yeah. I like that a lot better than this because you had a grappling hook and you could just like fling cars everywhere. And I think you had a machine gun on there too or something. But I had a lot more fun with that. With this one, it's just like, oh man. I don't know if I didn't get through I did a lot of exploring because I like to explore. I like to find out lore about the game because I really didn't know anything. I just watched a video about the first one. But I like upgrading my guy and getting all that stuff and then doing the main story. But yeah, I mean, I don't know why they made it like so much open world. Should have made it a little bit less. What's up?
if there was a map, if the map was like half as big, I think it would be an improvement to the game, because there is so much area there. And like I said, a lot of it's empty. So you're just driving from point to point to point to point to take down shit. Mm-hmm. And then maybe you go back to town for a little bit to sell some of your loot, rinse and repeat. And even the story missions, with the exception of a handful of boss battles I had a lot of fun with, most of the story missions are, hey, go here, kill all these guys, get this power, you're all set. And, I don't know. A lot of that maybe isn't, like, if you don't really like the shooting or the thing that you like to do is exploring, that's not what this game's good at.
Yeah,
and
I tried, I did one of those outposts, and you can't drive your vehicle through there. But
most of them, there's a barricade where you gotta park your truck.
I didn't. I drove my vehicle in there. So I'm just running people over and shooting them with the machine gun. So I just plowed through people. I thought that was fun. I got through that little obstacle. But,
right.
Like trying to ramp into an outpost.
Yeah.
There's an ability that you can unlock in the game where you can have an ejector seat in your truck. So you can, and there are a handful of ramps that will ramp you into places.
Yeah.
So you can drive off the ramp, get over the spot where you need to be, and you can hit the eject button, and you float above the world, like, cause you get this levitate ability, so you can float above the outpost, like, rain down rocket fire and bullets, and it's fucking awesome. Like, all of that is amazing. I haven't even unlocked the ejector seat in my truck yet. Like, I just saw that it was an ability, and I'm like, that's badass. And I don't know. Like, the abilities, it's difficult to use those because of how complicated the controller is. And, like, the controls itself, so they don't map those well to the controller. And you have, like, 20-ish abilities, I want to say, like 15 abilities, and you do not have that many face buttons. So the way that you have to activate those is like, okay, hit left on the D-pad, hit X, and then hit right bumper.
Would you say that's like Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, it's like more like fucking doing combos.
Is it more like a wheel? Like a wheel, like a selection wheel? Or is it like you literally like have to do a combo?
Wheel, yeah, your weapon wheel is a selection wheel.
Okay.
But not so much with the power selection stuff. And like, none of that feels real good to try to do while you're in combat. Yeah. And the combat is, like, they want it to be fluid. They want you to keep moving. They want you to run and rush through areas. Like, this is not a stand back behind cover and shoot shit kind of game. Mm-hmm. This is a let's dive in head first and blow through people. And that's what the powers are there to help you do. Like, there's a force push, there's like a slam, you can jump up and slam ability, and there's a bunch of them to unlock, and a lot of them that I haven't unlocked yet because they seem to be locked behind areas that are fairly difficult to like take over, like outposts that are difficult.
So you have to go to places to unlock these powers.
So you gotta unlock these arc locations is what they're called. That's where your abilities are. So you have to find arc locations on the map, then take them down, like take the outpost down, remove all the enemies, and then you can unlock more abilities.
That was my problem.
And that's the same way that you get weapons.
Yeah, I found an arc, and it's like, arc discovered. I was like, okay, cool. And I jumped down to where I was in front of the door, but it wouldn't open. Because
you probably weren't far enough in the story to make that happen. Yeah, you've got to get to the first town. Yeah. And then they're like, hey, your weapons or your armor and abilities can be upgraded, but you've got to go do X things. So that sucks. Like, that kind of like removes you from the fiction a little bit because there you are. You fucking made it.
Like, I didn't even have to fight anybody. I just kind of fell in there. Yeah. And was like at the door, and I was like, this is clearly a door. This should open. There's probably a button around here. And I walked around and had people shooting at me, but I was just made them go away.
Well, also, I don't think it'll open unless you kill all the enemies.
Yeah,
like,
that's what
part
I'm saying.
of it.
Yeah. There was no way I was going to be able to clear all the enemies with the little bit of stuff I had.
Right.
So I was stuck.
Yeah. there's a lot to like about this game, and I guess maybe I followed the progression in such a way as to be playing the way they wanted me to.
Yeah.
And
which is not a normal thing that you do.
No, it's not. Like, for me, my goal in a game is to, like, okay, you want me to go left?
I'm
going to go right as far as I possibly fucking can, and then I'm going to go back left and see what happens. And, like, in Fallout or Skyrim or more of or even Far Cry, like, most of the time that works out either way you go. And I don't know, I just didn't run into things. I guess maybe I decided, like, okay, this is a game where exploration is not rewarded, so I'm going to stop doing that. And I decided that fairly quickly. And
first 10 minutes?
Yeah, 10, 15, I'd say. Like,
wow.
And I played I probably played 15 hours of this game at least. It was one of my higher totals for the year of any game that I played.
Some rookie numbers there, bud.
Right, awesome.
Those numbers
I played 167 hours of Total War. Get it off the list.
First week playing Pavlov. My first week playing Pavlov, I put over 20 hours into it. My first week.
I don't know how long I played. All right, I didn't fucking look.
I'm at 24.
I started playing it at 8 o'clock.
Somebody pull up the Xbox app and see how long I played.
I can do that.
Do it.
I started playing it at 8 o'clock. I didn't pay attention to the time. I opened up Oculus Home and it was 2 a.m. I'm like, oh, I should probably go to bed. That's what happens.
Jesus.
Yep.
So like I said, there are some issues with this game, and I think some of the open world stuff didn't really land for you guys. I mean, I'm okay with leaving or taking it off this list if that's what it takes to get us down to 5. I love Rage 2.
We'll talk about some other games first before we get there.
Okay.
I think we should at least introduce all these games.
Okay.
Because we only have we have 5 more to introduce and talk about. Okay. And then we can just narrow them down. We don't, because our arguments don't have to be super long.
If that's the case, I can take care of Sekiro real quick.
Okay, let's do that.
Do it.
Okay, so Sekiro is a game that first my friends started playing. They're big Dark Souls fans. From Software is the developer that the developer, or is it the game people that make it? I'm still not caught up with my game lingo.
Like developer versus publisher. I think From Software
publisher is the word I'm looking
developer.
For. Yes, they're the developer, the ones that make the game with the code. Anyways, my friends are a big fan of that, and we've played Dark Souls in the past, and we've always been able to play with each other in Dark Souls. I mean, I say always, mainly like you get in a game with each other, maybe 50% of the time you get in a game with somebody else accidentally. Oh, actually, let's say 49% of the time you get in with somebody else, and then 1% of the time, it's just like, it just doesn't work. But, no, Sekiro is a game that's only single player, and it's kind of fun in the way that you don't have to worry about multiplayer at all, because usually there's some sort of contrived method of playing multiplayer where you have to go find some soapstone, which would be like the entry, sort of like in Dark Souls, you have to write your sign down on the ground somewhere in the game, and then someone would find it, and they'd summon you in through that soapstone. But you'd have to have the soapstone, you have to have your humanity restored, or your embers. You have to be embered or something like that.
Have a password set.
Yeah, password set. A lot of conditions. But Sekiro just goes, no, you're just going to play single player, bud. Which is okay, because like it sort of develops an experience that you have and not other people can interfere with, and you don't usually compare. You compare a lot with other people's games if you have that sort of community like I did. So I had my friend John and I had Pat, who had been on the podcast before, and they had started playing it before I did, and they were just talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. I was like, man, I am left out of this game. I'm like, they've got their own clique going on. I'm going to be left in the dust here if I don't do something about that. So I bought the game for a full price.
Full price.
And
full price for that's $60.
That's not a Sam thing to do.
No, it's not.
You know what? I could have bought 120
packs of gum.
No, wait, no. Is that right? No. Like 12. I could have bought 12 Taco Bell boxes. I could have done it, but instead I decided to play Sekiro. Right
at the same time.
No,
you could do both. You could do both.
Well, that's going to cost me $120.
Got that new huge nacho box thing for like a party nacho box.
Yeah, you don't have any kids. Just fucking buy both of them.
Man.
Just get all the
Mountain
Taco
Dew.
Bell.
How are you supposed to save money?
You're not supposed to, dude. Why save money when you're rich?
You can't take it with you, Sam.
No, but I can at least take it into my later 20s, late 20s, maybe.
Dude, if you make it that far.
Sam, you're the richest one on the podcast. You make $5,000 a year. It's awesome.
Yo, don't be telling everybody that.
I want you to be jealous. You jelly, bro?
A little bit. At least I can afford jelly, apparently. So yeah, it was like I just felt like I was left out. So I bought the game and started playing, and I had to get caught up because they were so far ahead of me. This is a game where it's not an open world for the most part. It's mainly think of like Zelda, and Hyrule Field is like your main hub. You get there from Kokiri Forest or whatever, and then eventually you end up in Hyrule Field, and you got like a lot of branches and stuff you can do. But it mainly follows a story. Those places aren't relevant until you get further in the story. Yeah, it's like linear, but those places exist before you even get to them.
Yeah, I love that about it for sure. Mm-hmm. Like when I first started playing it, I was like, "Oh, it's linear, awesome." I hate doing side stuff. I'm not a big fan of that. And
really,
I'm not a huge fan of doing side quests. I mean, I think Skyrim kind of ruined that for me. How buggy the side quests could be. And you get sidetracked pretty quickly. And it's like I hate games that force you to do it because Skyrim kind of did because you have to get such a high level and it's like I don't want to do the side quests. I just want to play the game and beat it. I mean, that's my goal.
It's not that Sekiro doesn't have side things to do. It for sure does have side things to do, but they're like really secretive and way Dark Souls-y about it. Like in Dark Souls, there's this thing that you can do where you can like climb up these. It's a totally optional part of the game. A totally different, like you start out in this asylum, but you're actually able to go back to the asylum if you hop on these pillars and on these bricks, and then you go up an elevator, and then you hop over a hill and onto like a ledge, and then you kind of like sidle along the edge of this these ruins, and then you hop onto like where this bird's nest is, and you get in the bird's nest, and you turn into an egg, and the bird carries you to the asylum. Like you would have.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, it's like written in stone. It's like laid out before me. It's like you would know if you watch the video.
I can't count the number of times I've done that in video games. Obviously.
Honestly, if you would have watched it in a video, you'd be like, never would have found that. And that's what like the side stuff is in Sekiro. Like, there's multiple endings in Sekiro, but they're like impossible to find unless you just like we're just doing some weird quirky thing where you just kept feeding this girl rice over and over again, or getting the rice from her and eating it. Like you would have never found this ending. It's absolutely just ridiculous. But most people get the same ending I probably got pretty early on. It does branch. There's like a big split. You start out as a shinobi who's got this master, and he's like a little kid. His name is Kuro.
I thought it was a girl at first.
I mean, I don't blame.
It's not a girl.
It seems like a girl. I'm like, bro. I think it's because a girl voices him. Oh, that's usually how it is.
Yeah, most young boy protagonists usually voiced by
Sam.
Yeah. Plus, I'm not used to a lot. I didn't watch a lot of anime or anything like that, so like for me, it was hard to get. Like, oh, that's a boy. Okay.
Oh, did you do it in Japanese or did you do it in English?
I did in Japanese.
Heck yeah. So that's one of the big things is that...
You can switch it, though?
Yeah. So my friends all play...
You say you're like, wait, I didn't have to do it.
No, I'm going to switch it now.
The best part about this is such a weeby game that you can do sub or dub. It actually matters.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did subtitles.
I did subtitles too. It felt more authentic.
At first, because that's how it loaded. I'm like, okay, I didn't know you could change it.
I mean, the dub did a pretty good job, but like the sub just feels right. I don't know. And it was just fun hearing them speak Japanese.
You're just a
good thing I didn't get that far in the game to like have it matter now. So when I go back and play it, I can turn it on.
It's going to be totally going to take you out of the game.
No, be quiet.
So it takes place in feudal Japan. And you start out with like a nice cutscene of this, like I think it was like a shogun, and he was in a war with some other country or something like that. And he defeats them, and his name is Ishin, and he's super old now. So he's like, that was way back in the day. So you start out as a shinobi, and you've got your master, and I think you've got defeated by. How did this all work out?
I know you can actually beat him.
Oh yeah. The guy that you first like. There's an unbeatable boss in the very beginning, just to basically spank you. But unbeatable is like sort of a loose term. Like you can beat him obviously, but because you're so bad at the game originally, like you're not gonna beat him your first playthrough.
But
no
Sam,
way.
You've played a fuck ton of Dark Souls.
Oh yeah.
Like. Is the combat different in this game?
It's different in its own quirky ways. Okay. So it doesn't focus... Okay, so there's a thing called studying the blade, right? And that's a meta thing. That's not an in-game thing. Basically, there's just...
fucking kidding me?
No.
The blade.
So
did you coin this term? Please tell me.
No, my friend Pat did.
Okay, thank you, Pat.
Study the blade.
Study the blade.
So the way that
Blade Master.
most games work would be
Blade
like,
Master Pat.
In order to fight things differently, you'd have to change like your fighting style or something like that, or you get different weapons or something.
Right.
Sekiro does it differently, where the things that's changing is not necessarily how you're fighting, but how you're reacting to the different fighting styles of the different enemies.
Okay.
So your job is basically to parry and block as much as you can to win over as much posture, let's just say that's like
Or
stamina.
dodge.
Yeah, or dodge. Dodging is a huge thing. It's a lot faster than Dark Souls, where you can like sort of like roll out of the way.
Okay.
This is like jump, dodge, weave,
Yeah.
like jump, like spiral out of the way. You
Dodge,
know.
You can even
dive,
jump
yeah,
on top
and
of
dodge.
them. You know, like that
Yeah.
double jump almost.
There's a lot more stuff you can do. It's a lot more dynamic.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge
dodge
a
a ball.
sword.
You can
Oh,
dodge
sword,
lots
okay.
of swords.
I
And
like
they're-
the soul or like the dead guy like at the beginning or
Oh,
before
yeah,
you part
yeah.
ways, like that practice like was really helpful.
There's
Like
a
I
tutorial
played
guy, yeah.
played through that quite a bit, and when going back and forth, if I was struggling in a certain area, I would go back and just practice that certain.
He's almost essential because most people, when they get in this game, they're like, I honestly don't know even if I'm playing this game right. And he's like, all right, listen to me, bud. All you got to do is just like find out how to perfectly time these blocks, and then essentially that's the whole game. Now you just
Yeah.
need to pair that up with different enemies and stuff like that. But they're ruthless with the enemies, like ruthless.
Yeah, it's hard to recognize their moves. Like that's the thing I struggled most with because all of them have like a different like. You have to recognize their patterns. Like you kind of have to like sit
Study
back,
the blade.
sit back for a little bit. Literally study
As
the
it
blade. Like
were.
you have to like literally sit back and like just keep blocking until you recognize their pattern. You're like, okay, now I know how to beat this. Like I struggled so much with that in like the first like
Especially that
half
first-
hour playing. I was like, dude, like come on, like it was like I suck at that kind of stuff. That's why I put Jedi on easy mode. But there's no easy mode in Sekiro. Like you die. Like
Yeah.
you gotta learn.
Malcolm, I don't know if I want to borrow this game anymore.
Yeah, never mind. I'm good.
Maybe if you watch somebody play it, that was a big thing for me, was watching somebody play it, because like if you don't know what you're doing at first, you're like, this is kind of dumb. But
study Pat's Blade, as it were?
I studied John playing this
Oh,
game.
boy.
So like I'd watch him. That's what got me interested, was like just watching him just like jumping through this snow-filled terrain with snow blowing all over the place, and like there's guns in this game.
What?
And so like they're like muskets, right? And so like you just see him like dodging and weaving through like bullets flying through the air with the snow like blistering through, and then he's got the sword and he's using a flame vent to like burn them to a crisp. Meanwhile, like parrying and blocking this guy.
What's a flame vent?
A flame vent is like, just think of flamethrower
Like what the Mando has
Out of
on
his
his wrist.
out of his wrist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Mando
And,
flames.
The best part about this game, though, is just how I felt like I played my own game, because I suffered on certain bosses that were like easy peasy for most people. And then I just like totally spanked some other bosses that everybody had such a hard time with.
Yeah.
And so I think it's like really cool that the bosses are so unique and special, even though it's basically the same thing, just parry, 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 block, block, block. All right, they're down, and get a death blow. But like for me, it's just like sweating bullets. I've never had so much like anxiety playing a game. Yeah. Not anxiety, but just like intense sweating and
Well, I
shaking.
understand. Like,
and
yeah,
crying.
yeah, I see what you mean. But like even with having played so much Dark Souls, you felt like this was
it's
more
hard.
like the intensity
Yeah. I mean, in regular
was
Dark
greater
Souls,
in this game.
at least say the pace is faster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it more punishing? Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think it's more punishing.
There's a dynamic where like people get sick if you die too much, but I don't really care about that.
But like you can
Fuck the
bring
people.
that back too.
Yeah,
like,
you
it
can always
doesn't
bring
even
that back. It doesn't even matter. I mean, you might miss out on some quest stuff if you're like just super dumb and you just die a
like
lot.
you bring that one lady the blood of the one person that's affected by it, and then
Yeah.
it cures it, and
yeah.
like you can keep on doing that.
Essentially, the concept of the game is that because your master is like of some like dragon heritage, basically you've got the blood of he shared some of his blood with you, and so you can resurrect twice per game. So like, or not per game, but like per life or something like that. So you die, you get a second chance, you get back up, and then you die again, obviously, because the game's hard.
Okay.
I had a really fun time playing this game. Really beautiful, really just cultural in general. A lot of stuff actually is like rooted in some folklore and stuff like that.
Like Dynasty Warriors stuff.
Yeah, like straight out Dynasty Warriors, the source material, I'd say.
I mean, you're flying around in Sekiro, so I mean,
yeah, like the grappling is. Oh, I love the grappling.
Oh, the grappling is pretty
It is pretty
satisfying.
fun, yeah.
It is really satisfying.
There's
I had
a
so much
little-
fun doing it, and then like sneak attacking, like you basically jump off and drop attack.
Oh, sneak attack is basically cheating, honestly. It's like, you're having a hard time with this boss, we'll just sneak up behind him, we'll give you a free shot.
But even if you,
Yeah,
but even if you get
seriously,
it, it still requires multiple death blows. Like you literally stab him with the sword like in his neck, and he's like, "I'm still here." I'm like, "Bro, like you literally spewed so much blood." Like,
Dynasty Warriors.
It's good fun for anybody who's willing to have like an actual fun challenge, not just like an infuriating challenge, like an actual fun challenge. I strongly recommend this game. All I got to say is hesitation is defeat, and just repeat that over and over and over and over and over in your head.
Hesitation is defeat.
Yeah, that doesn't say anything on the back of the box. That's it. It just says hesitation is defeat 42 times.
Oh, more than that. More than that.
More than
Let's just say this. The final boss of this game, somebody like actually cheated to make. It's like he couldn't win just for the life of him, and so he actually cheated and slowed down the pace of the game, like the frame rate, by like 50%, and it was still too hard from him, and he actually beat the boss after so long, and he's like, I don't even feel bad that I cheated. Like, that boss was just hard. It's just that hard.
Like, it takes that long. Like, do you have to beat the boss?
What, it takes that long to what?
Do you have to beat the boss?
Oh,
though?
the final boss? Yeah.
Like, so how do you beat the game?
You beat the final boss.
Did you beat the game?
Yeah.
Like, you just said a dude had to drop it down that many frames.
Yeah, are you just Billy Badass?
Did you beat the final boss?
Yeah, I beat the final boss.
How long did it take you?
It took me maybe a couple days.
Oh my gosh.
Of straight playing.
Not straight playing.
For days and days.
That's the weird thing.
You're just slamming monsters.
Me and my friend Patrick were talking about this. We were talking about how, like, we have trouble fighting a boss. Like, it'll be like 2 a.m. We're like, man, this boss really is, like, just spanking me. And then you just go to sleep and you just, like, your subconscious just, like, works through the scenarios. Yep. You wake up the next day, boom, first try.
Yeah, I've had that happen, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, my brother's on a third playthrough of this game. He likes it that much.
Oh, yeah. My friend is
insane.
Actually 100% of it. Beat it 7 times.
Oh, my gosh.
Beat the final boss on his first try and the very last try.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Actually, Colin, you just mentioned that your brother had been playing this game. Do you want to get him on the line here?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and call him real quick.
Okay.
There. He's going on your toes.
Oh, what is it? It was a spider. Oh, gross.
Hey, Michael.
He did.
We are having trouble deciding if Sekiro should stay in our top 5 or not for our game of the year, and we thought you'd have some input on that.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, I'm serious. So we're recording right now. So say whatever you want.
We're what?
We're recording right now. So say whatever you want about Sekiro.
Sweet. I really just enjoyed the combat overall, and just the world just kind of absorbs you. It's challenging. It's that constant, you have to eventually learn, and it's that get good mentality that Dark Souls originally had, but it's like you start off and it's kind of like you're trying to get used to this combat system, but then all of a sudden it's like you start getting better and better, and it's like just this, you grow as a player, and you understand the combo system and the parry system and all these shinobi arts that you're using, and it's like it just kind of equals out into this just amalgamation of just awesome, and you're just zipping by, and eventually you can just go through the game really easy, New Game Plus, and it's just, I don't know, I just really liked it myself.
So how many times have you played through it? Just once?
Twice.
Oh, wow. And
Twice.
So you're saying you won't like the game unless you get good at it?
No, I think, because here's the thing, like, if you definitely like Dark Souls and just a challenge, I think you'll like it. It's the fact that the game does force you at a certain point to understand its systems and everything, because with certain fights, you have to understand the parry system. Like, you have to, like, it's punishing, but it's not punishing to the point where you hate it. It's punishing as far as the challenge. It's that constantly wanting to get better and better and better. And it's like eventually once you defeat this hard boss that maybe you've been even trying to fight for 2 hours or whatever, it just gives you that sense of accomplishment, like, wow. And then when you go into the New Game Plus mode, you're just like running through it, and you understand the systems and the blocking and how everything works, and it's just so much better.
Okay. Do you think it deserved first place at the Game of the Year awards?
I think for me personally, it was my favorite game of the year. I don't think it's a game that necessarily is for everybody.
Okay.
It's something that can be accessible to new players, I think, if they're open to it. But for me personally, it would be my game of the year. But everybody's entitled to what they think. I would personally put it up there, but
Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate your input. Just that was a lot of good stuff. So we'll definitely use that in our discussion. Thank you.
yep.
Bye.
And with that, I think that's pretty convincing. That Sekiro.
Yeah, I mean, Mike really seems to like this game.
Yeah,
Those are some pretty good arguments.
Yeah.
Good job, Mike. You're not here, but good job.
All right, next game.
All right. Actually,
Outer Worlds,
gentlemen, let's take a break.
Okay.
And take a break.
Take a break.
All right, break time.
I'm Midnight Agent Raw.
And I'm Okame.
We are the Super Media Bros podcast.
Each week, we give a comedically informative take on movies,
Music,
television,
video games,
and much more.
Put your shades on and listen to all episodes on supermediabrospodcast.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Yeah,
Shades on.
we're off.
All right, welcome back from break, everybody. We are here to discuss more motherfucking games. If you didn't hear the first part of this episode,
Sam Jackson.
So here we go. We are going to do the Outer Worlds next. Hit it, Malcolm.
Bum, bum.
Yeah.
Where's your timer?
Outer Worlds is pretty good.
Going, dude. Got you.
Yep.
You got me.
Not wasting any time. So yeah, Outer Worlds is pretty good. They do basically.
Explain to me what it is, please.
So I mean, the same people that made Fallout New Vegas made this game.
Okay.
They
the only
just kind
good
of
one.
they basically
A Fallout RPG.
yeah,
Correct.
It's a Fallout RPG
Fallout style, I guess, but
Yeah.
it's its own new IP.
set in space.
Set in space. Fallout in space, I think, is what Sam said.
We're waiting for the DLC for Space Pirates. Like that'll be so cool.
Please make it happen.
Mothership Zeta.
Yeah, like it'll be so cool if they do that. But no, the game's really cool. Like you get companions throughout the game, and it's really neat. Like you can just main quest everything and just blow right through it in 15 hours or less. But you can also take your time and explore. Like I mean, I think you said that you spent like 8 hours, right? And you weren't even off the first.
I probably spent at least 8 hours on my PC, and then I went ahead and started it again on my Xbox. So I have never even left the first world in this fucking game.
Yeah.
I tried to make different choices on my way through the second time because I know you said in your second playthrough, even though you were playing on Supernova and I was playing on regular, that the different choices mattered, depending on what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
So you get off the scientist, the beginning of the game is a scientist unfreezes you from cryo sleep in a ship.
You are,
and then he shoots you down to a planet and then tells you, hey, explore this planet. You've got to meet a guy here. And then once you meet him, you can get off the planet and go help the rest of your survivors.
Yeah.
Which are the people left in cryo sleep. There was something that happened and that's a mystery at the beginning, that the people in cryo sleep have been abandoned, basically.
I thought he was pretty open about it, but maybe it was like a little bit of a mystery.
I thought it was a little bit of a mystery. I don't know the reason why the people were left in cryo sleep at this time.
No, they're going to a different planet.
Wrong.
Oh, shoot. Maybe it is a mystery.
Just based on that. Yeah, and then it's funny because you end up like killing like the guy that you were supposed to meet, like your
a lot of the humor
like escape
in the game,
pod.
Yeah. It hits right from the beginning. Like even that opening cutscene where the first door is starting to drop and it drops like 2/3 of the way and then stops. And the music is swelling, and the scientist is standing in the doorway, but it hasn't fell yet. And then, like, you see him, he's looking at his tablet, he's, like, going over some notes and shit, and you just see him reach over and hit the button, and he goes back to his notes and shit. Then, like, 6 seconds later, he hits the button again, goes back to his notes and shit. The door still hasn't dropped, and then he fucking smashes the button, and finally it goes down, and, like, it's just funny. Like, it's all quirky. The world really feels lived in that way. It's like, all of this is kind of, like, broken, and it doesn't work very well. Like, even...
the game.
The game is not broken at all. The game's actually really well done.
Oh, sorry. I meant Star Wars.
You meant Star Wars.
Yeah.
That works.
There you go.
What's the Spacer's Choice motto again, Malcolm?
It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's choice.
Wow.
Like, that is the theme throughout that first world is like, all of this kind of sucks, but this is all that we have.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is, like you said, when you shoot down in the escape pod to the planet from the ship, you kill the guy that you're supposed to meet at that spot because he is holding the locator beacon for your ship to drop. And the scientist is like, I told him not to hold that beacon. What a moron. And then he's like, well, I guess you're going to have to do it now. So you have to go to his ship. Mm-hmm. And all of that stuff is super quirky and really well thought out and funny at the beginning of that game.
And like the ship, the computer running the ship, Ada, like she's really funny. Like when you return back from battle, she's like, "Oh hey, please don't get your blood stain all over my ship. We just had it cleaned," or just different phrases. Or even though it's not like a thing, she'll just say, "Hey, by the way, you got a new message from so and so on this planet." Like they send in a telecommunication. There's different.
Even when you first meet her, like when you first climb onto the ship, she's like, "Hey, I'm going to self-destruct because you're not Alex Hawthorne. You're not the captain." The captain's name is Alex Hawthorne. And this is like, you're an intruder here. You can't be on here, and I'm going to self-destruct. And then she does a countdown, and then it doesn't do anything. Right. And then she's like, "Oh, I guess you know that I was bluffing now." Right. And that's all really well done. And then later in that conversation, she basically says, "Tell me your name is Alex Hawthorne, and I'll have no reason but to trust you because you will be the ship's captain, Captain Alex Hawthorne." Right. And like, then you more or less embody Alex Hawthorne. You give your character a name, but you're kind of also Captain Alex Hawthorne.
I know one part that I went to, because I played it quite a little bit compared to Malcolm or anybody else. But I went to the second area where it's a space station, right? And on the space station, you have to meet up with a guy that's Alex Hawthorne's friend, and you have the choice to either say, "No, fuck you, I'm Alex Hawthorne," or "No, I'm sorry, Alex is dead." And it turns out like they were almost kind of lovers in a weird way.
Okay.
But it's kind of cool how he forces you to listen to his story about how he had a connection with Alex Hawthorne and what did you do with him? Like, you had to tell him at that point.
Yeah, he got squished. His dumb ass held the beacon.
Right. My favorite thing about this game, like, I read almost every piece of text in this game.
Oh, no, screw that.
I read all of the item descriptions. I read every single piece of lore that I came across, and I just had so much fun at the beginning, like exploring the world. Yeah, like nerding out and like, what is this world? What is my role in it? And like, there is so much stuff that you can learn from everything that's around, and talking to people as you go through. And just like in Fallout, you get quests by talking to people, and they give you tasks that you need to go do. And what did you think about the gameplay, Malcolm?
I felt like the gameplay was fine, even like from depending on like your style, like if you prefer hack and slash or if you're like into shooting, like the gameplay was nice. It does help having that like TDS, like the tactical.
The time dilation, yeah,
to where it like slows down time. You get a boost for.
It is essentially VATS for those of you that have played Fallout.
But it doesn't feel as well fleshed out as VATS to me.
You can unlock the ability to target certain body parts in it.
Okay.
So I guess I would say it's a little bit more real time, whereas VATS is like, hey, we're going to like this is an algorithm in the background that's like VATS is an algorithm for whether or not you're going to hit it. Whereas the time dilation thing seems like, okay, I'm still playing a shooter. I still need to shoot things.
Yeah.
I can't just, click. Okay,
right,
it's dead.
Right.
VATS is weird.
VATS is essentially turn-based in a non-turn-based game.
Yeah, it's just like, we gotta throw that back in there just so we can call it Fallout.
Right.
But yeah, it doesn't seem like that's the case at all for whatever the
No,
game
it's a little bit different. The Outer Worlds is what we're talking about, Sam.
No, I know what we're talking about. I just couldn't think of the name.
And I think the story and being interested in every piece of lore that you came across, like had it been something like Fallout, like where it was like post-apocalyptic, or like a Elder Scrolls game where it was like, kind of medieval, or not medieval, but like that time.
It's like a fantasy type setting.
Yeah, like I think had it been like that, you may not have been like as interested, because I find myself like interested in it too, but I think it was because it was like set in the future. It's in the different, galaxy basic.
Is it almost like a steampunk kind of feel? Or like
not steampunk.
No, it's hard sci-fi.
Okay,
I would say. You get a very large assortment of weaponry, much of it sci-fi derived.
Okay.
Like a shrink ray.
Shrink ray you can get, and then general laser guns and
snipers, shotguns. So it's
Did you guys dumb down your character at all when you have those skills that you can adjust?
I did at the beginning, like my PC playthrough, that was the first thing that I chose, was like, I'm gonna be stupid and see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And you get some pretty hilarious like unlocked comments that you're now dumb. You just ramble nonsense. It's like Sam talking to me.
Shut up.
Just out of nowhere, he just says something stupid, and I'm like, what? No. We're talking about whatever we're talking about now. Like,
you just can't get these 2,000 IQ nuances that I'm putting out there. If you were smart enough, everything I would have said makes sense.
Yeah.
Sometimes. It's lucky enough to make sense. It just corresponds with it correctly.
Right. Yeah.
Learn a book, okay?
If you're dumb, but your like tech is also like your technician is up, like you'll say something dumb that sort of makes sense for a technician.
Yeah, it's like dumb technician.
Yeah, like,
well, you gotta check the blinker fluid there, and that'll sort out your problem. Like,
right.
Okay.
I ran out of blinker fluid the other day.
I hate when
I
that
had to pull
happens.
over and because I couldn't use my turn signal. It was bad, dude.
Yeah, it's such a common problem, but it's so expensive for how rare the fluid is.
Fix, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in there like once every week.
Once every week, replacing that blinker fluid.
It's like a $500 weekly expense.
So it's like this stuff right here. This is the kind of stuff.
That's why you can't save money.
Yeah. Can't afford Sekiro because
he has to go to the dealership and get his blinker fluid.
Yeah, it's more than $60 for those of you who don't know.
I'm there tomorrow.
Cody, you played some Outer Worlds.
I have.
What do you think?
I liked it. I liked the armor. I liked the weapons. They were all pretty cool.
The armor designs are pretty cool. Like, it all looks kind of Destiny, but also like knockoff.
The first
cheap
one I
Destiny.
found, it was like a Rocket Man looking type suit.
Yep.
So that was pretty cool.
I thought the skill upgrades, one thing this game does well above like Fallout 4, let's say, is introduce the numbers back into the skill system. So as your numbers climb in the skill system, the better you get at them, and they have to be at a certain amount to do certain things. So like you have to be at a X amount in lock, or you need more lock picks to pick a certain lock. And some of the armor has those numbers increased that you can wear. So like your lockpick skill, which is in stealth. If you wear stealth armor, it increases your lockpick skill, and you need less lockpicks to pick a lock. And
some of those pocklicks, man.
Pocklicks.
How many times did I say pocklicks?
Like 0 times.
Hey, all right.
Post-apocalyptic.
But I thought that was really cool, the way those systems interacted with each other. Yeah. And had I played more of this game, I think it would probably be higher on my personal list. It came out at a very busy time.
Yeah.
For games, and I didn't, like, it's a game that I think I would love to play more of, and I'm probably going to do that this month once we finish Game of the Year stuff. But yeah, I really liked what I played of the Outer Worlds. So.
All right. You want to go ahead and move on from that? I'm sure we'll talk about it a lot later too.
Yeah, we can We can discuss more of the story specifics a little bit later.
On to Pokemon, Troy.
It's your time to shine,
Your time
buddy.
to shine. Go ahead and tell us about
right.
Pokemon Sword and Shield. Which one did you play? Did you get both, or did you just play one of them?
I have Shield, but I will probably borrow Sword from somebody to finish that too.
Is there a difference?
There is a two gym difference. Like there's 2 gyms in his game that aren't in my game.
So you have to pay $60 to unlock that?
To get both gyms.
So, my sister bought my other sister both Pokemon Sword and Shield for Christmas because Kennedy put on her list, she said, Pokemon Sword or Shield both look cool. So my sister McKenna went like, oh, I'll just get her both. Like, I have more money to spend on her, so I will just get her both games. So she texted me and told me that. I'm like, McKenna, those are the same game. What? Why do they have different titles? I'm like,
it's a Pokemon thing you wouldn't understand.
They're essentially not the same game.
She hasn't learned that? You guys
but also they
didn't
are.
you say you played Pokemon a lot as a kid with her? It's like
I did. She
you guys
doesn't
both
play
did.
a whole lot of games. Like, she did play Pokemon when we were very young.
Like, you should still know that there's two
No, she's not a gamer. Like, she doesn't... And like, I thought about it after the fact, and I was like, man, try to explain the differences in a Pokemon game to a non-gamer. Like,
legendaries.
Like
what does that mean? Oh, great.
It's like describing a Einstein-Rosenberg bridge.
Exactly.
Like, you're telling me there's only one legendary difference? Yes.
No,
I'm not saying
most
Pokemon
of the time.
Sword and
But
Shield.
I'm sorry, Troy. I'm sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
So, I have Shield. I will play through Sword. There's a few more differences in this game, in this generation, than there normally are. Normally, it's just a couple of Pokemon just to promote trading, and then the legendary at the end. So this year you have your 8 gyms, just like you always do, usually around 8. But 2 of those gyms, like in Shield, he's gonna fight a fighting gym type, and I didn't get a fighting gym. I got an ice gym, and so there's differences that way. You okay over there?
Don't mind me. Keep talking.
Okay. I thought you wanted my attention.
I thought you were waving at him.
He's picking. Yeah,
I'm picking
Go
the
ahead.
fuzz out.
Continue.
Okay, well, I'm gonna move into my notes because that's more concise.
All right, page 1 of 63.
Make sure you can cut this out if you want. Just make sure you're not reading it like you're reading something. Just like really expressive.
Characters look good.
Number 1.
1 period.
So, this year's Pokemon, I feel like they really revamped a lot of things. A lot of it's the gym challenger system. You start as the rivals. Your rival is the champion's little brother. The champion then he has you 2 battle. He gives you your starter Pokemon, which never has happened before. You always get your starter Pokemon from a professor. And so he's like, you pick your Pokemon, and I want to see y'all battle. And then he battles. You guys battle each other. Obviously, you win.
Well, isn't it in Sun and Moon? Was it Sun and Moon? Yeah. Doesn't your cousin give you a Pokemon, or is it a professor again?
No, it's the Kahuna, which is the gym leader, or
so
the
not
professor.
A professor.
Wait, no, Kukui does. Kukui.
Yeah,
gives
it's not
you
the professor, right?
He's the.
He is
professor. Yeah.
Okay, because I haven't. It's been a while since I played that. But continue.
Yes.
And then, like in this game, because like in previous game, or in this game, like you have to have a sponsor. Like somebody has to like sponsor you in order to be like in the gym. So.
To be in the gym challenge, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, like this...
And Leon is the
champion.
And he becomes your sponsor.
Yeah, he can't make a decision between you or his little brother, so he's like, I pick you both. Wow. He's like, Troy, you're really good, and I want you, but he's my little brother, and I can't tell him no. So...
It's kind of like, what's the point of the
Try not to give him favoritism, but also kind of is.
Yeah, exactly.
So what if you would have lost that first battle?
It makes you bad.
You got to battle.
You got to battle. You got to win.
That's pretty much how all the battles go. I've found
you have to win. The first
I lost a couple of them.
You blackout, you go to the Pokemon Center just like you would.
And then you can just
game.
walk up to them again and battle them again. At least.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some really cool things that they've added is there's character depth in this game and character development, which I being a Pokemon fan, I've never really like felt the need to read the text past the first part of getting the gist of what's going on. This game, I didn't like. I kept myself spoiler free for the whole, build up to this game, which never has happened for me before, and that might be part of it too. Why I enjoyed it so much. But in this game, as a trainer, I feel like your character is being developed throughout it. Plus, your rival Hop, like he's like learning who he is. Like he wants to be Leon at first, and then he finds out like partway through, I can't be that guy. I'm not that guy. I'm just Hop.
Be yourself.
Hop's a little bitch.
And he kind of is. And he
Says it to himself every day.
He's like, man, I just can't win. And every time you battle him, he has different Pokemon on his team. Like he has his starter.
Okay.
And he finds his favorites, but there's some changes that he makes throughout the game that make it a little more like he's trying to feel his way through the Pokemon to find the ones that connect with him the best.
Okay.
And that's kind of a neat thing that they've never done before. Your rival has the same Pokemon as he catches more throughout the whole game. They just get stronger and level up and evolve.
Mm-hmm.
And
how much of Sonia's story did you write down there on your notes?
All of it.
Okay.
So, and that was the next
So I
character.
thought that was fucking awesome.
Yeah. Did you? How far are you?
I'm like, I have my 3rd gym badge.
Okay.
So I'm not
fire. Yeah.
Yeah. Not, not terribly far, but I played a bunch of it.
Okay. So, and then Sonia is the professor's granddaughter, which she's training to be, she's the professor's assistant.
Yeah.
Basically.
And she wants to be the professor. Like she wants to prove her worth.
She wants to prove to her grandma that I can do this. And throughout the game, she's like working hardcore, trying to figure out the region's special ability, which is Gigantamax.
Right.
And Dynamax.
Yeah.
And what the differences are between Gigantamax and the Sword and Shield Pokemon and what that meant in the Darkest Day, which is
there's like
big bad.
A bunch of lore built up behind this game.
And she's trying to figure it out.
That stuff. And she, like, for me, her story was the most interesting.
Yeah.
Like that ancient stuff I'm like super into in real life.
Yeah.
From an outside perspective, I don't play much Pokemon, but is there a single continuity between all the games?
Not really, because each world, each game is its own world to explore.
Region.
So there are new stories to be told in each region.
Oh, I mean, not like a single narrative, but like all the same world, right? Like so everything's
they're all connected. Like Ash, Ash travels to so the Kalos region, the Johto, Kanto. Those are all like countries.
Yeah, it's all on one Earth, and all these other places are different countries he's going to, basically.
Like, this is the Galar region, which is kind of loosely, not even loosely, it's very strongly based on
America.
UK.
Not America.
Not America.
First America.
Everybody that's British is unsubscribed. The first America, Great Britain.
Yeehaw, that's right.
So,
no, but I think I understand. It's the same world. It's just they're all different places.
Yes, and there's Pokemon reside in special places, and they kind of promotes like a weird evolution thing, which is kind of weird. But these Pokemon have lived in this place for a long time, so
they adapt and stuff. Right.
Like there's a Galar Meowth that's actually kind of a Viking now and has a beard.
Yeah, he looks like a fucking bum.
Yeah.
It's like a wild Meowth appears. I'm like, what the fuck is this Justin Meowth here?
He's got a giant beard. And then
he's like a fucking hobo.
He evolves and he turns into, instead of Persian, it's Berserker.
Oh my god.
And he's got a Viking helmet.
No
and
way.
He's got a Viking shield.
All right, I might be on board with that.
He's pretty cool. But in different regions, they evolve differently and develop differently. He's looking it up, but
Dude, that does not look like a fucking Meowth.
it's a Meowth. It's a Galarian Meowth.
You're a Galarian Meowth.
Meowth.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So it's in this game. The gyms are. Oh, I don't know what that means. But,
Time.
okay.
If you just can you hold your phone so I can
yeah.
see that? I mean, you don't have to hold it
whole
up,
time.
but hold it sideways.
Hold it straight up
and
the
I
whole
can
time.
see the time.
So
because I can adjust my questions based on
Yeah.
time frame.
in this region, instead of gyms, you have stadiums, and it's more based on like a soccer stadium in the UK. And in that soccer stadium it's called a power area, I believe, if I remember correctly. Power spots, I think they're called. But in that area, you can Dynamax Pokemon. So
What is
in your
Dynamax?
you get a really giant Pokemon.
For
Yeah.
the listeners.
Yeah, you basically activate a Power Ranger wristband,
Power Rangers.
Yes.
and then your Pokemon combines with a bunch of other Pokemon and becomes a Megazord.
Yep.
I'm just kidding about the combining thing, but it does get a lot bigger and more powerful.
It gets bigger and it has special Dynamax moves. Like there's only one move for each type besides like a Protect is like an Ultra Protect.
I think the Dynamaxing
Pokemon
makes a
steroids.
super huge difference.
Yes.
So like from White 2, you had Mega Evolutions.
No.
That was X and Y.
Whatever
X
the
and
fuck
Y.
it was. From X and Y, you had Mega Evolutions, and I hated that.
I loved it.
because Pokemon shouldn't de-evolve.
They shouldn't.
So once
Yeah.
they evolve, that's fucking it. So making it
But
even
their
just
roids
calling
wear
it
off.
something else
Yeah.
makes it, for me, fit in the fiction a little bit
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, you can't call it a Mega
In-
Evolution.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't because that doesn't make sense. If it evolves, it's going to fucking evolve, and
'cause
it
some
should
of
be
those-
that all the time.
Some of those looked pretty badass.
Yeah.
I was like, man, fuck, I want to keep that all the time.
Charizard.
Close.
Yeah.
Like,
And,
just bring it closer to your face.
Like, to go back to the stadiums thing, let's talk about that for a second, because when you first walk into that stadium, you're surrounded by other people.
Yeah.
There is the presenter of the chairman of the soccer union, we'll call it, that
Yes,
are all the
basically,
Pokemon
yes.
stadiums. And he makes it seem like in that presentation, you are part of some sort of like reality TV show,
Yeah.
like Truman Show style fucking, like people are going to be in that stadium watching your shit. And that's how they know you are at the next stadium to do battle.
Yeah.
Because your story is being told to the region.
You have a Rotom phone that basically follows you around and records whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool. It feels like, it almost feels like a Hunger Games type of thing.
Yeah, it does have that kind of a feel to it. And I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, for me to just even think about what's going on in the background of a Pokemon game is, like, I think is a credit to this game for them having told an interesting story. Like, for me in Y and X, like, I don't give a fuck about the story. Just let me kill some Pokemon. As it were.
Hunger
Kill.
Games.
Kill
Make
them.
them faint.
Sorry,
Kill them
Pikachu.
all.
Take him out.
I enjoyed the story in Alpha. Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah. I mean, that was a
Sapphire,
good story.
I mean, originally it was Sapphire, but
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the story to that one. That's my favorite Pokemon game.
Emerald was mine.
Well, that was a mixture between the two.
Yeah,
That's- that's-
if they made an Emerald, I would play
That's
it.
the third game.
Give
It's
me a
Alpha,
C.
Sapphire.
Give
and
me an
Emerald.
They should
O.
do an Alpha, not
Give
Alpha
me an
Emerald, but,
L.
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they should.
Well, they
should
did that. They did.
Give me an S.
If you beat Sapphire,
Okay, back to Pokemon.
if you beat Alpha Sapphire, you can.
I mean, back to Shield.
post game, you can get to the stuff that happened in Emerald.
Okay.
Back to Shield.
Back to Shield. So, there. I mean, even there's Sonya who has character development. You have Marnie, which is the dark type gym leader's little sister, and she's got Team Yell, which is the bad team in this game, and they're like trying to protect her throughout the game, and she's trying to prove to him, no, back off, I got this. Like, she yells at them because they're attacking you a few times in the game to be like, no, let me take care of myself, I can do this. Like, trying to prove to her older brother and the whole team supporting him that, no, I got this, back off. And she forces you to be her rival. Like, she comes up to you at one point and
a
is
lot
like,
of them do.
You're going to be my rival now. And it's like, I already have a rival. How many rivals can I have?
Yeah, like BB, is that her name?
Bede, and it's a guy.
Oh, it looks like a woman.
It's a guy. Bede is a guy.
That is, I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Can't hear the voices anyways. There's no voice acting in this game.
No voice acting.
Which is one, I think, one of the maybe downfalls of it a little bit.
Probably, like, the only downfalls of this game is the voice acting didn't happen. And that's neither here nor there.
That doesn't really bother me that much, though.
No.
Because Pokemon has always been making you read and
Like
stuff.
you've never had.
But going from the TV show, which is obviously voice acted, back to the
subtitles
game,
the whole time.
It's like, I don't know. You guys couldn't, like, maybe get some of these fucking people to do some work. Like, they're already doing the show. You got them in the fucking studio. Game Freak, get after it.
Yeah. Yeah. The other downfall to this game, as you progress through the game, I felt like it got better or it grew on me, is the music. And, like, Ryan's cringing right now.
I fucking hate it. I hate the battle music. It's so terrible.
There's some weird...
Shitty, it's like a shitty remake of the Diddy Kong Racing music.
Ooh, that's my favorite song.
Oh, it's the worst.
I've got that downloaded on my phone.
Oh, God damn it.
Go ahead and play it.
Yeah, okay.
No, we'll get copy struck.
The gym battle music is really cool because it incorporates crowd noise into the music itself. So like you hear as you Dynamax, you hear the crowd cheering for you. And
I didn't I'm literally playing with the sound off.
Yeah, you got to turn it on for some things.
I can't.
You don't have to.
I hate it so much.
It adds to the experience. Just do it when you're in a gym battle. At least once to try it out.
I'll try it. I'll turn it back on so I can vomit.
See, it adds for you. It kills for Ryan.
Well, no. At the beginning of the game, I said I hate this music.
There are some quality of life improvements that I just want to mention real quick. Like you can, in the battle system, it shows whether or not moves are effective.
Yeah,
which is really nice.
It did that in Sun and Moon also.
Okay, so I didn't play Sun and Moon.
Once you battle the Pokemon, then you forever... Every time you come back to, if you ever run into that Pokemon again, you know what's effective, what's super effective, what's not very effective.
Yeah.
And you don't have, it helps you learn type advantage.
Yeah.
Which, some people know, some people don't know. And that's one thing I wanted to point out was my wife, who's never played a Pokemon game besides Pokemon Go and Pokemon Let's Go, is into this game and is mad because the Switch is sitting next to me and not at home with her. Mostly because you're ahead of her and she wants to be ahead of you.
I don't even know where I'm at. How does she know where I'm at?
I told her.
Oh, okay.
She's like, Ryan's ahead of me. I gotta work at this. You have the Switch, don't you?
Oh my God.
But I'm not competitive. But I feel like it's a really good, brings people in, explains what's going on, why it's happening, which hasn't really happened. Like, after the first couple, they just expected you to know what to do.
Yeah, but it's less hand-holdy than Let's Go, except for the fact that you need to follow Hop around for 7 hours of gameplay before you can just do your own shit. He annoyed the fuck out of me, and I wanted to beat him with a shovel every time I had to talk to him. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck what you have to say. If I had a knife, I'd stab you, but I can't.
Fuck this Pokemon.
God, I hated
We're playing
him.
Shovel Knight now.
That's right.
Wow. That's some rage against Hop, who I thought was a really good character by the end of the game.
And he might improve, but the part that I started enjoying more was the part where I saw less of Hop.
Yeah. And you see progressively less, and then after post game, you see a little, or into the end game, you see a lot more of him interacting with Leon and kind of finding his place in the world of of the Galar region.
Right. Well, we can move on here a little bit, probably from Pokemon, as we got 2 more here to touch on before we put these in any sort of order. I have more notes on Pokemon, but we can get back to a couple of things. More. Let's talk about My Friend Pedro.
Oh boy.
So the tagline for this game is Blood, Bullets, and Bananas. And it starts off with a bang, and it kind of doesn't slow down.
It just ramps up the whole game.
Yeah, it goes some places. So I made Malcolm play this, and Troy had played it already on Switch. And it came to Game Pass, so I was like, I have to check that out, because that looked really fucking cool. And pretty much you start as it's a 3D shooter, a 3D side-scrolling shooter on a 2D plane. So you can only go to the right, basically. There's not really a whole lot of traveling back to the left in the world. So in that way, it's kind of like Mario if you were on an acid trip and you had guns.
As if it wasn't already Mario and acid trip.
That's right.
This game is fucking bananas. Yeah. So your character wakes up and has amnesia, and floating in front of you is a sentient banana
named Pedro.
And you wake up. Your guy never says anything. There are no speech bubbles for your character. It's just Pedro talking to you. So Pedro says, "Hey, I'm your friend Pedro." And we are currently stuck on the bad side of town, so follow me, and we can make it through this, basically, together. So, follow the banana. He teaches you the basics of the game, jumping over boxes and rolling, kicking, things like that. And you come across a weapon. And in one of these worlds, or one of these rooms that you go into, and Pedro's like, "Hey, a gun! Grab that. I bet it'll be fun." So you grab the gun.
Hey, listen to the banana.
Listen to the banana. You always listen to the banana. And so you grab the gun, and then to make it through that room, he's like, "Shoot those boxes." Okay, shoot those boxes. Roll through the room. And then that leads you to what is basically the beginning of the game, a cutscene. And Pedro goes, "Oh shit, there's Mitch the Butcher. I guess we're in Mitch the Butcher's part of town, so we really got to try to avoid these guys." And so then a short cutscene follows where Mitch talks to one of his henchmen, and then Mitch leaves, and the henchman starts walking towards you, and Pedro goes, "Oh shit, he's coming. I guess we got to kill him."
Listen to the banana.
So you pop up, blow this guy away with your pistol, which has unlimited ammo, and then Pedro goes, "Oh man, we killed him. I guess we gotta kill everybody."
Might as well.
Jesus.
And then it's a train ride from there. It's so fucking cool. So shortly after that, you get the time manipulation mechanic, which you get by entering Pedro's mind. So Pedro pulls you into himself, and you are inside of his banana brain.
Ooh. Ew, that sounds non-appealing.
And well done. Well done.
What?
And so you're at the top of this level, and it says, "Hey, you can do flips in the air and shit like that if you want to. And try flipping in the air and shooting this priceless vase my grandmother gave me." So that's the beginning of how you get your time dilation and flipping powers. And it goes, you work your way through these levels, and it has a lot of verticality to it, even though it's on a 2D plane. So you can work your way up through these levels. You can wall jump. There's parkour mechanics. There's not really a sprint, but there is a bullet dodging mechanic. So you are, you're slowing down time, spinning around with your time dilation, or with your bullet dodging mechanic, flipping in the air, aiming both of your pistols in different directions, shooting multiple guys while you're in the air. And all of it is like, so like more Matrix than the Matrix was.
It's man, you sound like you're in the Matrix.
Cool. Yeah. And it feels great.
Oh, man.
I played it on the Switch, which has terrible like sticks. Like there's only 5 way. It's not even like as precise as like an Xbox or a PlayStation controller.
Yeah.
And even on that, I felt like a badass the whole time through the game. And it was super fun.
I also liked not shooting anybody. I would just spin, dodge bullets, and then kick them. Spin,
Malcolm.
Spin, jump, kick him in the face. Spin, jump, kick the other guy. Like it was just.
Is there an achievement for that?
Yeah, 1,000 kicks. I didn't know that was an achievement till it popped up.
I was like, what would drive a man to do something so stupid?
I mean, I was fucking garbage at kicking, so I almost never kicked anybody. For some reason, whenever I got close to anybody, I would kick in the wrong direction, or...
I tried kicking boxes and they wouldn't break.
Yeah, and I never got the kicking thing to work, and then I watched the fucking maestro of kicking, Malcolm, do that, and I'm like, dude, you're a badass.
I felt like, who is it that doesn't like using weapons? Is it
Sanji from One Piece?
Yeah, sure.
Of course Sam would have a reference. He's like, I already got characters on the line.
Of course, Sanji from One Piece.
But anyways, and like you can kick up frying pans.
Yeah, it's Sanji from One Piece.
And then you can shoot the frying pan and it ricochets off.
And all that stuff just works automatically.
Yeah.
The heads from the bodies that you kill, like you can kick those at other enemies,
You can
and it'll
kick
kill.
chest cavities at people, and
Oh, that's wonderful.
kick a gas can up in the air and then shoot it, and it blows up and kills everybody.
No,
Sounds like a
seriously.
family game.
There becomes there's a point in the game where you get a skateboard,
Yeah.
and you're just you can kick the skateboard, kill the first enemy, and then time dilate and shoot your way through the rest of them. Or there's an achievement for, I think it's like jumping in the air on your skateboard, doing a kickflip, and doing some other acrobatic thing and killing an enemy. Like, there's cool things with the skateboard that you can do, and there's nothing to explain the skateboard. Pedro's
it's
just like,
there.
there's a skateboard, let's fucking ride, or whatever he says. There's like,
There's a motorcycle. That you get to ride.
there's a zip line, there's multiple zip lines in the world.
Yeah.
There are, grappling hooks that you can grab onto and ride up or ride down and kill people. There's a segment where you, like Pedro complains about like not feeling well or something like that, and then sucks you into his mind where you first got your powers, and then that whole like level is just like the gravity is reversed in weird ways,
And you got to parkour through the whole
you
course.
parkour through the whole
There's
thing.
disappearing platforms, and it's super trippy.
Some of them disappear after you
When you jump off of them, they disappear.
and then some of them reappear after a certain amount
And a
of
lot of the platforming got pretty challenging in that section. And as you progress through the game, it almost becomes less about killing people and more about solving the puzzle to make it through the world. So it has a little bit more depth than like, hey, run into this segment and just shoot all the enemies and move on, which is a fuck ton of fun. I will give
and
it
you
props
get a bonus
for that.
that.
And you get bonuses. There's a rating at the end of each level. There are multiple weapons to unlock. So you start with the pistol, but then you unlock the Uzis. Then you get the shotgun. Then there's an assault rifle. Dual Uzis is a weapon.
The assault rifle has a grenade launcher.
Yep,
That one messed me up a lot. Like I kept on accidentally
blowing
because I
yourself
was
up?
trying to like do the double aim with the assault rifle, and
you can't do that.
Right.
And it feels so powerful when you first get those weapons.
Yeah.
You get the shotgun, and there's a room of 15 dudes, and you're like, boom, boom, and just fucking blowing dudes away.
Blow them in
pieces.
pieces.
It's so good. It's so gory. And it feels so good in the time dilation mode where you're going slow and just blowing guys apart, jumping in the air, flipping over a dude, blowing his head off. Fuck, my friend Pedro is awesome. It is probably the most inventive playing game I have played in a long time.
Yes.
It is so smooth, and I'm not even good at it. Like, there are very few segments where I was like, I should upload this. But still felt really good playing, because I didn't want to upload it and then be like, you're trash, get the fuck out of here. Like, I know that's what people are going to say, because I'm sure there are guys that are way, way better than me.
I've already got it copied into my clipboard. I've been waiting for you to upload for like a while now.
It's so
Easy
fucking
mode.
good. Yeah.
I bet you got a C on this one, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
A lot.
Little pussy. What did you like best about it, Troy?
My favorite thing about my friend Pedro would probably have to be in the later levels, you have to avoid lasers in weird ways, and like it's really inventive how you have to like there's one where you're ziplining down and you gotta swing and then make it so when you go down, your character goes down and then swings away from the laser at the right timing. And there's a real cool timing mechanics through the whole game of just trying to avoid obstacles.
Yeah.
In general, and everything feels super great. Like the feeling of the game as you're playing it. I've never felt like that in a game.
Agreed.
Since PsyOps, probably.
Damn, that's a throwback.
It's a good game.
What about you, Malcolm?
It's fun.
Yeah.
Like
Just fun?
Yeah. It's really enjoyable. Like, each of the levels are challenging. They integrate more and more stuff to keep it interesting, so that way it's not just humdrum.
Did you end up beating it?
Yeah, twice.
Okay.
He's got like 20 hours into this game. Have you seen his post?
I didn't, but that's awesome.
He called me out for my 7 minutes that I played it.
Oh, okay. I did see that.
Yeah. My 7 minutes on Xbox.
Dude, I was so mad. I thought that was legit. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
You beat it.
Game of the year?
He was defending it. Like,
I beat it in 7 minutes. What did you do?
Fucking A. Yeah, right? Like, what are you dallying for, Malcolm? Troy's a speed runner.
Well, it's hard to kick when you're on your bike. You tried doing that.
Did you try it at all, Austyn?
Yeah, I played like 3-4 hours of it. Yeah, it's really fun. Yeah. The dual wielding. I just kept with the dual wield pistols pretty much the whole time.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite.
The unlimited ammo is like hard to...
Yeah. And I just saved up all my other ammo for the bosses.
But you get a bunch before the main boss, like the final boss too.
Yeah, I still like those double pistols, just aiming both ways and just killing people, and slow motion. Yeah, I suck at the kicking. Also, I either I'm not close enough, or I do kick the wrong direction. But the skateboarding, that was fun. I didn't really like the motorcycle.
Dude.
I didn't know what was going on. I was just shooting and jumping. That's all I was doing.
Yeah. So
I was just like, what the heck is going on? I'm killing them, but I'm not getting hurt. But I'm just, what's happening?
Yeah.
Malcolm also got stuck on that part, and he was like, dude, how'd you beat the motorcycle segment? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, and he says, how many times did it take you? I don't know, like 4? Like, not really that bad. I didn't really work at it for that long. He was like, man, I have played this, tried it over and over and over, and I've died. So I'm like, okay, well, let's fire it up. You know, I've got it downloaded. Let's fire it up right now and see where it's at. So he fires it up, and I'm like, boy, I actually don't know why you're dying. I didn't have this much trouble with it. And then I was like, oh, fuck. You have to shoot the bombs as he throws them towards your motorcycle. Mm-hmm. And the game never tells you that. It never says, hey, shoot the bombs. And because you can't avoid them.
Yeah.
You can't avoid them. So that was maybe one strike against it where it could have been a little bit clearer about what exactly you're supposed to do there.
But then again, in a game where you mostly shoot, it should have probably been...
mostly shot it.
Yeah. Because you were shooting at the enemy, and they talked about in that episode or that segment where you're trying to dodge or lunge forward on your bike. So I thought that's what you had to do in between shooting at the dude. And it wasn't, because those were heat-seeking, freaking...
They're heat-seeking grenades.
Yeah.
He's throwing.
It was crazy. Because I showed him on a video, where I'm, clearly swerving, on the road, and it's just following me and killing me.
And exploding, and you died.
Yep. So.
Noob.
Yeah, I thought the boss was pretty easy. Because I just started shooting at him. I just kept on shooting. I didn't stop shooting because I had the double pistols.
Yeah.
But, I thought he was a little bit too easy to beat. I had more trouble in the other parts of the game rather than fighting the boss.
On the Switch, the thing I struggled with the most was getting him to jump in the right direction at the right time.
Ooh,
because I had less control of him than I played it on Xbox for those 10 minutes or whatever, and it felt way better. Like, Switch was not the platform to start on, but that's what it launched on, and I wanted that game on launch day, so I bought it.
Yeah, I mean, the Switch is a great game, or a great console for a lot of games, but like we talked about with Trials last episode, and Pedro, it's not maybe as precise as
it's
you'd
either
probably want it to
there,
be.
like, full on or full off. There's no, like, I'm going to turn part way on the Switch controllers. There's none of that.
It's not analog, it's digital, so it only reads 0 or 1 rather than reading like any in between. But are we good on My Friend Pedro for now, I think?
Yeah, time to banana split.
How long were you holding that one?
I'm not going to lie.
Last week.
20 minutes.
Oh my gosh. All right. Control.
All right. So I think we need to talk about Control. But before we do that real quick, I think there are probably some we can just cut. Because Control's going to take me a minute. What we talked about Gears 5 yesterday. We talked about Rage 2 today. We talked about Call of Duty yesterday. Like, those of this list, like, I heard really strong arguments for Sekiro, for Pedro, Pokemon. I don't know. Do we think those are going to stay? Malcolm?
Malcolm.
Or Sam, go ahead.
My name's not Malcolm. I know my place.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, I think they should. Those are a pretty solid list right there. There are definitely some outliers that you just didn't mention that we can definitely just axe. But as far as like, I'm actually okay now keeping Pokemon on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well done, Troy. Malcolm, you had some pretty strong things to say about Gears yesterday. And the way that the campaign unfolds. Cody, you liked it as well. I don't know. I think it's more Gears. Like, it's more Gears. There's some different weapons. I wanted to see them take Gears in a direction that God of War went. Like almost...
They couldn't go that way.
Almost de-Gears it a little bit. Like why not? Fuck it. They own the IP. Whatever. Fucking do whatever you want to.
Because you can't take Gears of War and throw in Norse mythology.
That's not what he's saying.
That's not what I'm saying, and you know it.
Hey, they did do that. They moved the chainsaw button. They de-geared
it.
I think I wanted more like what they're going to do with Gears Tactics. I'm super excited for Gears Tactics.
Turn-based?
They're basically taking Gears out of Gears.
Yeah, like...
a whole new way of playing Gears.
Yeah, I wanted more innovation, and what we got in Gears 5 was refinement.
Yeah.
I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, just imagine Gears of War, but there's gardening now. And now,
okay. Oh. And it's called Plants vs. Zombies.
Plants vs. Zombies, but instead of zombies, you've got leeches that crawl out of the ground, right?
So I like, of the arguments that I heard, I think for Gears, the argument was a little lacking.
I will raise my hand to axe Gears. Or chainsaw.
We're not voting.
We're not voting.
Yeah.
Dang it, we're not voting. We want a consensus, though.
I'd say if we get rid of Gears
Only
5.
if you do the RB motion for the chainsaw.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Yep.
Bye-bye.
I just chainsawed Gears off of this list. What were you going to say, Austyn?
If we get rid of Gears 5, we should get rid of Rage 2 then, also.
Unfortunately, like, I fucking love Rage 2, and I think it's a bummer that it didn't hit with the rest of you guys as well as it did for me. But I get it. Like, it's not a game that's for everybody. I'm okay with that.
All right.
Taking one for the team.
Yeah, I'll take one for the team here.
To be honest with you, that was my whole goal here, was to get you to...
He just wanted Rage 2 gone.
I'm about to get Rage 3 here in a second. Yeah,
I'm unaxing it out. It is back on the list.
No, we emptied a recycling.
Monster Reborn.
I'm just kidding. It's off. I know it has issues, but I did really like it, and I gave it its piece.
I'm mixed between Call of Duty and Fallen Order. I'm having a hard time deciding which one should stay, which one should go for now.
Which one's the better game?
Mine's kind of between,
in my opinion,
Call of Duty and The Outer Worlds, to be honest.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think Jedi should stay compared to those two?
From what I heard of the story of Jedi, that is a game that I want to watch people play.
You can.
Like, exactly. Like, I don't necessarily like playing it, but I love that story.
Yeah.
From what I've played of Jedi, it's super, like, it does drag you into the story and make you want to know what's going to happen next, which I really like. But the bugs kind of, like, I hate that they're there. And I wish they would just get rid of them. Like, they need to fix it.
Let's just say if it was a movie, it'd be great.
Yes,
they have been fixing those bugs, though.
Yeah, I'm sure they have been.
And like I said, I only experienced one bug in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Other than that, the whole game was perfect for me. You know, and that's just my experience. So I don't think bugs can be the only reason that this game.
But it is a game
axed.
and not a movie. And if we're rating it on how good of a game it is to play, and if you can't play it that well because of bugs, I would say it's not that great of a game because you can't play it very well.
Yeah, I mean, I've only had one issue the whole time.
Yeah. All right, so we have successfully cut Gears 5 and Rage 2
down to 8,
and we're down to 8 here. Let me just move these to the bottom, or to our cut pile. Let me move them to the cut pile,
the log pile, if you will.
And let's run down the list, and then we can talk about some of Control here. So our top 8 tentatively: Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, Days Gone, The Outer Worlds, Pokemon Sword Shield, My Friend Pedro, and Control. So, yeah, I played probably the most Control out of anyone here.
Yes.
I think Control might be my game of the year.
Ooh.
Like, it's so fucking good. You start out as it's a third-person action RPG kind of adventure game. There's not a huge world
like a
to explore, but a shooter for sure. Go ahead, Cody.
Is there a story?
Oh, yeah.
Does it lead you on an adventure?
Let me tell you about said story.
Hold on. Let me bunny trail real fast.
Okay.
So it leads you on an adventure. So it would be considered an action adventure.
But there's
RPG qualities.
And shooting. So like think of Tomb Raider. Like
that's an action adventure.
Very similar to Tomb Raider.
Okay, you said it was an adventure.
It's an adventure.
Rage 4.
So, I mean, you just don't you don't go to that many different environments. I guess is the only reason why I would say it's maybe not an adventure game.
Basically just traversing around the office, right?
Really?
Yeah, it's an office. NBC's The Office clone.
Yeah.
Where Jim is there. He's playing pranks on Dwight the whole time. No. So your character, you start with the character named Jess, and she is she's the main character. She's super determined and kind of mysterious because you have no idea what her origin is. And she is from a town called Ordinary.
Jakku.
Ordinary girl from town Ordinary. So living within her is an alien entity called Polaris.
Whoa.
And
damn it, spoilers!
That is because of an event in her childhood that her and her brother experienced. And during that time, your brother goes missing during that event. And that was 15 years ago. So think of it like Fox Mulder looking for his sister. So you are Fox Mulder looking for your brother. And at the time of the entering into the building, which is the first thing you see as the player, she's been looking for her brother for 15 years. So it has been quite a long journey to lead her into the spot that she's in now.
This story got me.
So you enter into this building, and it's like a federal building. Yeah. It's gray all over, and
it's the FBC, the Federal Bureau of Control.
Yeah, it's FBI stand-in basically, but FBI for paranormal shit, which is why it's X-Files.
Stranger Things.
And Stranger Things plays a role. It's Stranger Things meets X-Files meets Fringe.
Dang.
And all of those are things that I really, really like. And the way they put it all together in this game is fucking awesome. So you enter this building, and the only person in there that you see is the janitor. And the janitor says, "Hey, are you here for the janitor's assistant job interview?" And
what a thing to ask! What a line. Federal Bureau.
Yeah.
Did George Lucas help out with the dialogue here?
And so she's like, No, there's no dialogue choices. She just answers like you're watching the story unfold. And he's like, well, I need an assistant, so why don't you go ahead and interview for that job? If you just go up the hallway, you can go to the director's office. That's where you do the interview. So you go up the hallway and you see these people are just floating in the air. And like for no reason, they're just levitating. And you're like, what in the fuck is happening here? And so you keep progressing. You make it to the office that you're supposed to go to.
Ignoring the floating people.
And you can't do anything about it.
You want that interview, yeah.
You're supposed to go to where you're supposed to go. You can't do anything about the fucking floating people. She just comment on it, but like whatever. And you make it to the office and a guy is tipped over. There's a tipped over chair behind the desk and a pool of blood there.
Ooh, he spilled his juice.
There's a gun lying next to the pool of blood.
Is there a person in the tipped over chair?
Mm-hmm. And there's a dead person on the floor.
For some reason, I pictured like Inception chair tipping over.
Oh, no, sorry.
Yeah.
There's a dead person.
Okay.
Dead guy. So you walk in and it's clear this guy has committed suicide.
Ooh.
And you're like, what the fuck is going on? You look at the guy's face and there's a picture of him up on the wall. So it appears that he's important. And then the story is kind of told through like a little bit of flashbacks, which are like cutscenes and character cutscenes. And there's audio logs and there's written notes all around the world. And there are also like videos scattered throughout the world that convey a lot of the scientific-y, pseudoscience-y information. But when you are in the office with the dead guy, you pick up the gun and you are transported to the astral plane. So by grabbing that gun, like that's the thing that transports you. And now you are in like this wide open space and there are just black rocks.
You're on a marble countertop that's like askew. Like there's marble countertops everywhere is what I explained it as.
Yeah. And so that's where you get your first ability. And it turns out that like as you progress through the game, you learn that like the gun is an object of power, an OOP. And there's a bunch of like pseudoscience acronyms for all of the sciencey-ish shit that's in the game. Yeah, this is OOP. And so the gun, it turns out anybody who holds the gun is the director, the new director of the Federal Bureau of Control. So you, an outsider who has no idea what the procedures and protocols of this body of the government are now the director of said body.
That sounds like poor infrastructure to me.
Right.
But it's an object of power.
But so you go through the astral plane. I played a little bit of it now. I don't know how, probably not that far. But the very first part, you pick up that gun and then you go to the astral plane. You finish that part and you get transported back to the director's office and you look back at that picture. And it's a picture of you now.
Now it's your picture.
It's like, what the fuck just happened?
Yo, they got some great like response time. Like if this is where I used to work, it would take like maybe until I quit until they put it up there. It'd take them another year to figure out that I wasn't working there anymore.
Does this end up kind of being like a psychological thriller along with it?
A little bit. So when you're, and part of the, sorry, I forgot to say this. Part of the story is told through the narration of Jess herself.
Yeah, I assume.
And so she is talking to herself in her head, but when she's talking, she always references herself as we.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then as you go down the line,
I haven't got that far yet.
She's talking to the alien entity inside of her.
Okay.
And she at points she like with me it was weird. She's like, well, I don't want to tell them about you yet.
Yeah,
I'm not ready to tell anybody about you, and it's like,
and it's a mystery at first. Like, I thought she was talking about you as the player. Like maybe she understood what type of a situation this was, where she was being controlled in the background, like almost a fourth wall.
That's why it's called Control,
right? Like I know, like a fourth wall kind of thing. But Control is a theme that pops up many times within the game. So you. Once you become the director, you have a gun now, so you can battle your way through enemies.
And you get force push.
Yeah. That's like the first one you get your first power.
It's like basically John Wick with force powers.
It's almost like you're a Jedi. Like you get
with a blaster.
You get force push. You get C's where you can like take over people's minds.
Ooh.
You get a force dash. You get a force throw, a force shield, and then eventually your last power you unlock is just levitate. You can just levitate,
Dude.
It's fucking badass. And
Everything I wanted from Jedi.
playing this game like kind of made me realize how poorly the powers are implemented in Rage 2. It's like all of this feels so smooth and it works together so well. Whereas in Rage 2, it's like, well, I just fucked that up. I
want to buy this game now.
And it's like super cool the way all those things work together. And the environments are completely destructible. So everything in the world has physics.
Yes.
Oh,
And
man.
so as you're progressing through the world and you're unlocking these abilities, when you get the force throw ability, you just grab concrete from the wall and fucking throw it, or from the ground,
Yeah.
like wherever you're pointed, that's what you grab.
Yeah.
You just grab concrete, whip it at them, and then like you can grab desks, computers, like fire extinguishers, and
The first thing I did when I got my force push is went through the office and broke every table in like the whole room.
And as
knocked
you-
holes in the walls.
Bro, this game sounds awesome.
And
It's
as
crazy.
you-
Oh, that sounds like me on Saturday.
like, and once you get the dash, like you as the player character feel super powerful when you get those abilities, because you can dash through the office, and when you force dash, you fucking knock the desks over, papers are flying off, like it feels like you're just blowing through the world. It's fuck, man. There's so much about you. I'm sorry, Cody. I didn't mean it. You had something to say about Control, or a question maybe?
I had a question, but I totally fucking screwed up.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's all
I'll
good. It's all
acknowledge you
good.
next time. So yeah, a lot of that is really awesome.
I remember my question.
Okay,
Sorry.
go
No, I
ahead.
was just sitting here. I looked
Yeah.
at Troy and I remembered it instantly. I was like, oh, no, because I was going to ask you when he was talking, but no. Okay, so how you can pick up the concrete and shit, do you have to let go to have it thrown? Or do you just pick it up and then throw
So
it as a one button
right
press?
bumper is grab, and then
when you let off,
when you let off, it launches. So you
Okay.
can grab, aim, launch.
So essentially, you could grab and just use that as like a big old shield.
Well, no, shield is a separate
Well,
ability.
I get that.
Could you?
But what I'm
also,
saying
like,
is the concrete, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't
Not
know.
the concrete, because it's like a rock
table.
Yeah, it's like
but
just a
there's-
little piece.
There's there's these big boxes that you have to move, and I have used those that like held it up in front of me and then launched it at the guy.
Mhm.
But the cool thing about that grab is you grab it and then launch it. And if you grab it and launch it instantly at what you're aiming at, it hits them and staggers them enough where you can take a couple more shots before they can actually attack you again.
Once
so you don't need a shield at that point.
So there's a level up ability to that where you can, like, it'll just be eventually powerful enough to just throw it at people and it kills them one shot.
Yeah.
And like, that feels so fucking good to just grab something and smash somebody's face in. So you become the director, and your role as the director is to obviously like take down the enemies. And there's the reason that the enemies don't affect you, other than their bullets, is because you have the alien entity inside of you. Like, she's preventing you from being affected by what is called in the story the hiss. So the hiss, this noise, has like taken control of the agents in the game world. The game world that you first enter, it's called the oldest house. So this house is also an object of power, and it changes all the time. And it's like
Monster
like
House.
it's like a TARDIS. So you go in and it's like way bigger
Yeah.
than what it appears to be, and there's like a portion of the oldest house that you can see the sky. So you're in like a parallel alternate dimension kind of thing.
Majora's Mask Moon, maybe.
I hated Majora's Mask, so I would really not like to compare it to Control. For the most part.
I just got
It's a bad comparison.
got this look in your eye like the Joker from The Dark Knight. You remind me of my father.
Let me tell you how I got these scars.
He's going to make a pencil disappear.
So all of that setup is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And a little bit spoilers there for, you learn probably the majority of that within the first 3 hours. And I've probably played 20 hours of this game, and I don't know how far I am through. I've unlocked some achievements.
So it's a pretty long campaign.
It seems to be a pretty long
story,
game.
Yeah. That's awesome.
You can get lost too. I found myself getting lost in the area.
It doesn't really hold your hand in that way, so you do get a map that you can pull up.
And it tells you where everything is, like the names of all the places, but there's no arrow that's telling you where to go.
Right, right. So you've got to kind of figure some of that stuff out on your own. Yeah. I have more to say about it, but I do think we need to maybe start maybe eliminating things or taking some off the list. I can definitely argue some more about Control. One? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Control is really
I think so.
cool.
Man, it's so fucking cool.
I think, just from like talking about it, I think Sekiro and Control are going to be our top 2 contenders.
I think you guys, everybody here really likes My Friend Pedro. I think I would also be okay with that being in the top running.
Yeah.
Would we tentatively move those to the top 5 side?
I would say
tentatively,
yes.
yeah.
Okay.
If I knew what tentatively meant.
Sekiro.
Okay.
Pedro.
Yeah, let's start doing some
Control.
organization here. So we've got Sekiro, Control. Oh, here we go. And Pedro moving tentatively.
Does anybody disagree with that?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I guess I speak for everybody.
So now so now our top 5 that we need to move. We can only pick 2 of these 5.
What we have left on the list, we have Call of Duty, Jedi Fallen Order, Days Gone, The Outer Worlds, and Pokemon Sword Shield.
Okay.
There are
2
some
more
choices here to make. Fuck.
I think Call of Duty should be the next one.
To go?
I think then...
Or to move over to the top 5. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I think we said plenty about the things that it does really well.
Yeah.
Like, it's a really good Call of Duty game.
Amazing Call of Duty game.
And I think the stuff that they changed to make it a little bit more tactical, like we talked about last week, is fucking awesome. You should play Call of Duty, listeners, if you haven't already. Call of Duty's really, it's a really good game.
But in the end, I guess we just don't like it as much as these other games.
Yeah, I definitely didn't put as much time into it as I did these other games.
I'm making time for Control and Jedi.
I need to play Control.
Like, I feel like Call of Duty is cutting into those times.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I should be playing, like, I'm playing Call of Duty with my friends and I'm like, I should play Control.
Right.
I mean, I'm going to go offline so they don't message me and play Control.
I found myself doing that too.
I need to finish Sekiro for sure, though.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Call of Duty. I'm going to strike it through. Stricken.
I was gonna say at the end of it, it still is just Call of Duty. People really play it just for the multiplayer.
It's a super tactical version of.
It's a good game.
Duty. I mean, I like the multiplayer.
Yes.
But it's just
okay.
He's a good man.
He's a good man.
Price is
All right,
good.
we got 2 more guys to.
My father was not a pirate.
I'm Outer Worlds or Jedi?
I would like to attack Outer Worlds because it just.
Ryan's like,
well, hold on. How about we have an opinion from somebody who played both?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay,
What do you want to
Austin.
do with your time? Do you want to play Outer
play
Worlds
both.
or you want to play Jedi?
Jedi.
Yes.
Jedi.
I really like
Play
being a
more than
Jedi.
an hour of both?
You really like being a Jedi?
Okay. We'll get your opinion next then, buddy.
Is that because of your Star Wars bias, though? Like, as a game as a whole,
You keep bringing that up, like, just
But, like-
it's a good.
Okay, we're gonna take out just the. We're all Star Wars bias here.
Yeah.
So it's our
fine.
game of the year.
So, yes.
It's our game of the year. So screw it. Why not let Star Wars bias be?
I know
be a
if I
contender?
told a kid about running around with a sword that could cut through anything, they would flip the shit and be like, "Yeah, I want to do that." You know?
Yeah.
Hell yeah! I mean, even just because it's Star Wars, I mean, it's still really really fun to run around and use force power just like in Control. You know, it's really fun.
Okay. So are you saying Outer Worlds should go?
And I guess like Star Wars from an EA game, it's one of their better ones.
Unfortunately,
They're for sure.
It's like I don't even want to give it to EA, but it looks solid.
They did a good
fuck
job.
EA, but good job.
They did a good
Respawn.
job.
Like,
Yeah.
this is a really well told story.
Respawn did some work on this game.
Yeah.
There may be some optimization issues later on in the game, but I can look past that because 1, it's fucking Star Wars, and 2, when it works great.
It's like you're toxic, but I still like I'm okay with you, but you're still toxic and ruining everything.
But it made me want to go play Battlefront 2, which is more Star Wars, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, but,
I guess that's another component of the game is like if its source material stems from another media, does it like hold up that media or does it drag it down? So like, does it make Star Wars seem better to you or does it like make Star Wars seem stupid to you?
I think it brought parts of the story that I didn't even think about before. Just kind of like Rogue One was like, did I really need to know that story before? No, but it added something. It didn't actually add anything.
The word is enrich. Does it enrich the source material? And
I really feel like it does. Cal feels like he's doing something towards the furthering of the Star Wars story.
Okay. Yeah.
And also lightsaber's pretty cool, I'd say. So it goes on the list.
My thing is Outer Worlds and Star Wars Jedi would be the two I'd bring over to top 5.
Okay.
Really?
Yes.
Contentious.
So you're saying Days Gone and Pokemon, one of those two should go?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to have some disagreements there for sure.
Opinion.
This is going to get tough.
Looks like I've got to maybe call off tomorrow.
To me, I enjoyed like Fallout 4 and Skyrim a lot. And I played a crap ton of Skyrim and a really decent amount of Fallout 4.
Mm-hmm.
Outer Worlds, I played it as much as I could and I got to a point where the story just didn't grab me anymore. Like it felt like it just kind of fell off. And the gunplay it's just doesn't feel great to me.
No, I can kind of see what you mean. It's like after we keep calling back to Skyrim, we keep calling back to Fallout, but after a while, it's like,
you gotta blaze your own path. Like you can't. Yeah. That's.
It's like another Fallout game. Like how many more Fallout games are we gonna get before we actually get
Fallout in space? I mean, I guess it's different, but
yeah, but I think some of the writing is a lot tighter.
The writing is way better.
It's the same thing with Pokemon, right? Like it's still a reiteration of another game.
Yes.
Like, if that's the argument that we're going to use, I guess Pokemon should go too. But that's just me.
I mean,
originality is one thing, but like piggybacking is another thing.
I would almost say that the stuff that they changed in Pokemon is closer to it being a different game than the Outer Worlds is to Fallout.
Yes.
Like the Outer Worlds skews so close to what Fallout does good. All of the dialogue choices, the companions, the way the companions talk with each other, and the gameplay story segments change based on your companions. Like that's all super fucking cool. And I think all of it's really well written and really well done, but it's also been done. Like we've seen that stuff happen in Mass Effect. We saw it happen in some Fallout games, and it might be more refined.
And I would say it is more refined. But like, I had a hard time with that. The choice, the big choice that I made with the reverting the power to which place, and I sat there and contemplated about that, which I don't. I mean,
and that's not something that you necessarily had to do in Fallout. Like Fallout was like, what the fuck ever. I don't give a shit.
Yes.
What gets me more caps?
Yeah.
And in I don't know. And in Outer Worlds, they make those choices harder. It's not about caps. It's not about you as the player character succeeding. It's about what effect will it have on the characters in this world. So I guess, I'm arguing the other way now. I don't know.
I was going to say something, but I wasn't sure like if you were going to like swing it back around and say, but.
No, I wasn't.
The butt never got there.
There are choices. And
it is a super hard choice.
Be tough.
Like, it does some really cool things, but like I don't know why, but I don't even that's not something I want to go back to. It just didn't feel good.
I mean, I guess you have a point with like not going back to it, Troy, because when I stopped, I played it for like a week. And when I stopped playing it, it wasn't just because I started on my laptop. It was like, well, maybe I'll play Pedro. Maybe I'll play Control. Like, I don't know. What do you think, Austyn?
I mean, I've beaten this game. I'm gonna do another playthrough of it because the choices I made were, I was mainly persuading my way through everything.
You forgot to play the game. No, it's like, I don't know. For me, I've got my own opinion about like persuasion checks, but keep going.
That's why I'm gonna do this next playthrough so I can actually play the game, Sam.
Well, it'll be stab checks.
Yeah, these are gonna stab my way through. I'm just gonna say fuck you and you die.
It's gonna go straight melee character.
Yeah. But I mean, this is a different type of game from Fallout. I mean, it's corporations that are in space, and I mean, it does have those Fallout aspects in it. But I mean, it's a pretty different game, I would say.
You think it blazes its own path?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And this is why this is like the first like Fallout type of game, you know, that I've actually beaten, because it's not really Fallout.
Right.
All these other Fallouts, I play it and I lose interest.
Yeah.
Every single time, every single game, and it just, I don't know. This one, it's kept me going. It kept me in the loop. But
damn.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, do we want to talk about Days Gone?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want to know?
Cody, this is the hardest part of what I have
Cody, you just
to
got to
do.
defend it, because like right now, this is the one that we're
Yeah,
down to.
I'm hearing some pretty good arguments from
Like,
other
we've had
people.
Blazes
good
its own
arguments.
path. It blazes its own path. What other game does this? Name one, right fast.
Outer
Far
Worlds.
Cry.
Left 4 Dead.
Far Cry?
Oh, you mean
Can't play Far Cry.
Oh, I can't play Far Cry.
Can't play
damn.
Far Cry.
I gotta
It's
go
not-
home now. I can't play Far Cry.
Yeah, right. No. Far Cry don't count.
Why doesn't Far Cry count?
Because Far Cry is nothing like this game.
Did Far Cry come out this year though?
No.
No, I mean, I'm not arguing to put Far Cry on
Which
this
one?
list.
Far
I'm
Cry
just
broke
saying,
Far
like,
Cry?
I'm just saying, like,
Which Far Cry?
all of them?
No.
I mean, it's just...
I'll accept one, because that
Okay.
one was awesome. 3 is a good one.
Okay.
And that's it. Oh, and Blood Dragon.
Okay, Blood Dragon's not anything like...
It's
like
nothing
Days
like
Gone,
any
but,
of them.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to come up with some defenses for Days Gone here. So, that's just what I'm telling you.
It's good.
Hey, Cody.
okay.
Hey, Cody.
No.
How late do you want to stay out tonight?
I'll fucking filibuster this motherfucker.
Oh gosh.
All night, fuckers.
Sam's gonna start passing out ones. Like, dude, I need to go home. I need to finish this.
I need to eat some Taco Bell soon.
Y'all are
Don't say
sitting there
that.
talking
You're gonna make 'em
about,
leave.
you know, blazing its own path, and for that, this game does it.
Okay.
It's a completely, like, I wouldn't say original, because, you know, survivor horrors have been around for like damn near ever.
Zombie survival horrors.
I wouldn't
Not
even-
in the exact same way, but they've been games.
I wouldn't even, yeah. But this isn't even really zombies, because people that get bit don't even change or nothing like
They're
that.
called freakers.
They are called freakers.
Totally original game.
Well, no, okay, look at it this way. So, in this lore, people who get bit don't change.
Okay.
It is sure, it's a chemical that causes it, but still, it's not you get bit, you get changed zombie type deal. It has nothing basically like that. You don't need to blast them in the face to kill them. They basically still have the same anatomy as a human.
Subhuman shambling enemies that come at you in hordes that you need to mow down.
Oh no.
Yes.
The answer
Hold
is
on,
yes.
like World War Z. I mean, World War Z
Austin
with a
seems
motorcycle.
to say yes.
Okay, yeah, I'll give it that.
Okay,
that, yeah.
they're
But-
fucking zombies.
No, they're not.
No, they were giving it with the chemical.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Cody.
It was a cure for cancer.
It was a cure for cancer, right?
It was?
No, God, you know how much fucking shit. I probably wouldn't have played that.
I would have immediately been like, yeah, we're not keeping it.
It's also the plot to I Am Legend.
That's what I was gonna say. Like,
Right, yeah, it's
Like, also not zombies, but
it takes place in the fucking East Coast.
yeah, Walking Dead's not
I am
zombies either.
Legend
They're
with a
walkers.
motorcycle, right?
Yeah,
That's what
because
we
they
got
only
here?
they only come out, or they tend to come out at night.
They're heavier at the night.
Yeah, they
they're
do come
heavier
out at
night.
daytime, but they're heavier at night.
You'll get
yeah,
bear
that's
hordes
not
and shit
zombie
at
like
night.
at all. Yeah.
But you can kill kids in this game.
What the fuck?
Yeah, we're not keeping it.
Pause. The newts.
Oh, okay.
The newts.
Yeah.
They're called newts in the game. They're basically like mutated little kids.
Yeah.
And they don't attack you unless they're like a force of them. Like unless there's more than 2.
Or you're really, really weak.
Yeah, or you're
It's a
really
herd of
yeah.
Padawans, a herd of
Pretty
younglings.
much.
You just go Anakin Skywalker on those motherfuckers.
You let that
And collect their ears and spend them at the
We've
place.
referenced that more often than
Oh
we
yeah,
should.
yeah, every time. Fuck.
So far, what we got here is you can kill kids.
They're not zombies.
They're not zombies, but also kind of maybe zombies.
And it was good.
Well,
I know you can.
I've iterated on it so much. I don't know what else I can say about it.
You definitely spoke a lot of peace to it for sure, and I definitely could tell you had a lot of fun playing this game. I'm not willing to scratch it just because of right now what you just said.
I'm not, yeah, like that's not the reason that I'm saying. But like, Austyn played it. He's the only other person that played it, and similar to Rage 2, it maybe didn't grab him as much as it could have. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of like
I get that.
Rage didn't grab us, but it grabbed him.
Like, I loved Rage 2.
Rage 1 I loved.
Yes.
Yep.
I didn't care for Rage 2.
I understand that. And but that is a problem.
And my you can't really comparison them because you have sure there's that part in Rage 2 where there was like little foragery and like trees up in the corners and shit. Like from what I watched Tyler play, he went to the spot and there was like trees. I don't know.
Yes, there are trees in Rage 2.
I didn't really play.
You're trying to bring up the berry trees in Pokemon. Don't bring that up.
I don't give two fucks about Pokemon. That's not what we're on right now, Troy. Fuck your berries and trees. I'm saying that compared to Rage 2, this landscape, the surrounding areas where you are is so much more vibrant and alive. And I get it. Rage is a post-apocalyptic and everything, but so is this.
Mm-hmm. Better environments.
Yes, I feel the environment here is way better. It's, you got mountains and shit in Rage 2, but Rage 2, I don't know. I've never seen it, but does Rage 2 have a weather mechanic in it? To where it'll rain, it causes the sand to get muddy and causes problems in like fucking your steering and shit on your bike or your car or whatever?
Most of the vehicle controls in Rage 2 are subpar except for the main vehicle.
I don't know.
I'm just saying. I'm just like, Rage 2 is not on this list.
I know.
I
that's
don't
what
know
I'm
that
saying.
that's a good comparison.
But that's
like
what he was
I
trying to get with.
Like, you like Days Gone a lot. It is one of your favorite games ever. You beat it.
He's in
at least one time.
He likes it.
So Sam just showed me a picture of the main character in Days Gone.
I look nothing like him. Don't fuck yourself on that one.
He's in the game. That's why he likes it.
He's in the game.
And it has motorcycles.
Yes.
This sounds pretty biased to me.
He lives vicariously.
I mean, we talked about Star Wars bias, and
motorcycle bias is a real thing.
Maybe motorcycle bias is a little tiny bit of a thing.
Hold on.
I'm just saying, you fucking love motorcycles.
I fucking love motorcycles, yes, but I fucking love guns more, and I sold my motorcycle for a gun, so I can't say I'm
IRL,
motorcycle.
or is this a game thing?
IRL, no.
Okay.
I told you about this.
I walked the rest of the game because I really wanted that gun.
No.
I didn't need to pick up gasoline anymore.
Like, I like bikes. I love the enjoyment of riding a bike, but that is not the main reason I got this game.
Okay.
I got this game because it just seemed good to me. Like,
I'm
the
not
whole
saying, like,
driving a bike
you don't need
in
to
it made it
justify
better.
buying the game. I understand that you liked the game. I'm just saying, like, maybe, like, I had to take off Rage 2. That's what I'm saying. Like, we all have to not put on games that we had a lot of fun with.
Except for me, because I have one game.
Well, and also, like...
Okay, hold on, Ryan.
Hold on, Ryan.
Hold on, Ryan. Okay, hold on, Ryan.
Let me lay down a beat for you.
I had, okay.
His arguments have more or less been, it's not this, it's not that.
No, okay.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, I've heard really good arguments for these other 4 games that are on the list. Are the 3 games that are on this list.
You're sitting here saying games that you've had a lot of fun. All the games that are on my list, I actually had a tremendous amount of time or a tremendous amount of fun playing.
Okay.
Like,
talking about those.
But you're saying all the games that are here are the ones that people had a lot of time playing, and you're saying that everybody has to I have already sacrificed Resident Evil 2, Borderlands 3, which both I loved and enjoyed, but I enjoyed Days Gone more.
We're going off of arguments, though, not necessarily like who enjoyed what more.
Exactly. It's not like
I get that
enjoyment thing.
I get that.
But right now,
I'm just.
But I feel like y'all are shitting on it because you don't really care. Like, it's like these games. I don't know. Like a lot of you guys, like Sam sticks mainly like Dark Souls-esque games. Colin, from what I hear, plays like mainly first-person shooters and Star Wars games.
Okay.
Troy's Pokemon and first-person shooters.
And Ryan plays bad games.
That's true. I only play shitty games.
So,
except for Control.
like, out of everybody here, the only other person that's given this a shot is Austyn. And
Right.
out of all your guys' lists, I have not seen like a survival horror in any of them. None of you play survival horror, so I feel like
I love
Dude,
Dead
that's my
Space.
that's my
Dead
life.
Space though.
Dead Space is a
played
survival
I
horror
played-
game.
I get that.
I
But
played
that's-
all three. No,
That's
two,
Dead Space.
2 Dead Island games.
360.
Dead Island.
360.
What does that matter?
It's older. And I get.
How many
Okay,
new
no.
survival horror games are there? We played GTFO. That's a survival horror game.
Touchdown.
Is that not?
It is a
I don't
survival
know.
horror
I
game.
didn't play
It is.
GTFO.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
it didn't appeal to me.
But a lot of us did. We all had to nix
Okay, well,
that
I'm
one.
glad y'all had fun playing that. But what I'm saying is, fuck it, I'm done. Never mind. Whatever you want to scratch it.
Oh, now we feel guilty.
No, don't feel guilty. It's whatever. It's just I'm trying to live less argumenty right now, and fuck it. If you guys want to scratch it. I've said my piece. I'd much rather see Outer Worlds go than it, but that's my opinion personally.
Okay.
Well, what do you think, Austyn? What did Days Gone do for you? Did it have some things that you liked? Like Cody, had mentioned he really, really got into the survival aspect of Days Gone.
There's so much tension in there. I know at one point there's some guy that shot at me, and I shot back, and then I could just hear all this. I could hear all this screaming coming, and I'm like, "Oh fuck!" And you can see on the map where they're coming from too.
And you felt like, oh, I fucking need to get the fuck out of here real quick.
Yeah, I didn't realize they're on me until
bike's
they're
out
on
of
me.
gas.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
My bike's out of gas. Fuck, now I'm hauling ass to the woods.
yeah, that's an actual thing because you have to just run. You just run. You don't care. You just
Gonna go
jump
back
up
for your
cliffs.
bike.
I mean, you're gonna have to circle back.
Come back later.
But
I'll be back, baby. I promise.
But yeah, there's a lot of like tension moments. You can like lay down shit that can distract them, so you can get away. But I mean, I when I go to my bike, I wish there was a button to like actually pull it back up and go. You have to pull your bike up and then press it again to get on your bike, and then you go.
That I didn't like. I wish it would have been if it's off on its side, you just hit the square button and then he pulled it up and got on it and went.
And then because that's a lot what I'm doing. I see a horde coming. I'm like, oh fuck! And I run to my bike. Some zombies have knocked it over.
Yeah, they just tap it and knock it over.
What the fuck? So I have to like run over there, try to dodge them, pull my bike up. By the time I pull my bike up, I'm already getting attacked.
That's what, I had to run. I ran, picked my bike up, hauled ass again, big ass loop just to get back to the bike. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Cody, I'm not trying to take it off this list because it's only you that played it and you that liked it. I'm not saying there aren't good things about Days Gone. I'm saying the argument that I'm hearing, like, that was a good example of something in Days Gone that affects, like, tells me it's maybe worth staying on this list. Whereas it's not
multiple things.
I know, but that was yesterday. I don't remember those things.
That was last week.
It's yesterday.
You've been saying yesterday and last week, like periodically different spots throughout this whole podcast.
Well,
We've all been laughing. No, we just laugh.
Yeah, we've been having fun with it.
You guys could have told me that.
Ryan doesn't make top 5.
No, but okay. What I'm like last episode is what like my reference to yesterday, obviously. So that's kind of the thing, like that Austyn said that I wanted to hear, but then also in that segment that he said he liked, he also had a problem with it with the way it controlled. And I don't think you are acknowledging anything bad about this game. I realize there are things that you really, really love, but you've given me no reasons to not like it.
That sounds like a top 5 for me.
Because in my opinion, like, yeah, sure, that's bad, but in my opinion, I powered through that and I felt it was okay. I didn't really have anything bad going on in my game. Like, I had no glitches, no bugs, nothing like that. I played through fine. That's why I've said nothing really negative about this game. Sure, yeah, that sucks, and I wish you could just pull your bike up and go, but I mean, I can understand the aspect. A bike's fucking heavy.
So it takes multiple button presses.
Right, yeah, smash me.
Depends on what size of bike.
If we're gonna go there,
that too.
The time or like what are those stupid things or like button mash sequences like Telltale where it's like press X to get up and then press B many times to lift door. If that's bad gameplay,
I mean, it is.
Then so
like,
is Telltale.
It is. That's bad gameplay. Those are stories to be told. Like,
but this is just a bike getting up. I would say that's small potatoes.
Yeah, it is.
See, yeah, it's not like you're
I would say
falling through
that
the
it may
sky
be
or
that it maybe
like the ground just opened up and dropped out from under
What do
you.
you two think games should go over Days Gone then?
Ooh, I think.
Well, I'm asking Austyn and Cody because they're the ones that played Days Gone.
I have some arguments for Pokemon that I didn't talk about. So if you guys want to hit Pokemon, I'm prepped.
I'm too scared.
Yeah.
I mean, I might put you to sleep, but I had
Pokemon's top 5
yes.
for sure. It can be 5, but it's top 5.
Then put it in there.
Is it a contender? Is it a contender? Cody, you want to go ahead and if you're gonna argue, you go ahead.
No, I've already said my piece on Pokemon. It's like Troy said, there's a little bit of differences, but to me, it's just Pokemon.
I agree, but
yeah, that's what I've heard. Luke from where we work.
Yeah,
he played Pokemon. He bought both, and he didn't think it was Game of the Year contender because he felt like it was very lackluster. It was very like hyped up, like, oh, this is gonna be the new, like this is gonna be it, and then it's pretty much the same. I mean, it had new stuff. Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't have some issues with the choices that they made in the game. Yeah. I think that the fact that you can't turn the camera everywhere you're at is fucking stupid. If you're going to give me the ability to turn the camera in the wild area, I should be able to turn the fucking camera wherever I'm at.
Yeah.
And I realize that's probably an engine limitation of the game where like they only want to load the world, like I think it's the cities that you're in, like, or a draw distance thing where they only want to load the certain parts of the cities that they want you to see in that specific instance.
And I think it's make the game run smoother type of a choice.
But at the same time, like, I don't give a fuck about that. If you want me to be able to turn the camera and give me that ability, I should be able to do that throughout the whole game. And it takes me out of the game to not do that. With that being said, like I talked about the quality of life improvements a little earlier, the wild area is super fun to explore.
It's awesome. I love it.
And the reintroduction of the bike helps you traverse that area, and you can do things you can upgrade the bike. You can upgrade your camping gear and obviously level up your Pokemon. There's a fuck ton of items that you can give to your Pokemon to help them level up or recover in battle or just a multitude of things like that. And then some of that's been in Pokemon games before, but they took a lot of that out for Let's Go. And to see a lot of that return in this game and the way that integrates with some of the new mechanics is really smart. The wild area has different weather effects.
Yeah.
So you can catch different Pokemon in like the snow zone and the rain zone and the I guess frozen zone would be the snow zone. Or like the really sunny area has a lot of leaf Pokemon.
Well, in those areas, the weather is dynamic also where there's a sandstorm, so those Pokemon come out. There's a thunderstorm, so the water Pokemon come out.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not always the same. Different days bring different Pokemon to these raids that happen only in the wild area that you can battle with friends online, or you can do it offline. You can do it either way.
I have some issues with the progression in the game. Like, I feel like I've been sticking to this game a little bit more closely in terms of the way that they want me to play it than I have in the past. Like, I am not doing as much exploring, and I'm kind of like, I've already got my 3rd badge. That's as far as I made it in Let's Go. Yeah. Played Let's Go for 50 fucking hours. I got 3 badges. And like, I found parts of this game to be fairly difficult. Like, I texted Troy and I was like, dude, this is the Dark Souls of Pokemon. I am getting fucking wrecked by wild Pokemon because I don't know the type weaknesses and I don't seem to have the Pokemon that I need to defend against those certain type weaknesses. Yeah. But Troy had mentioned on the last episode that he was playing Pokemon like it was a brand new game. So pulling new Pokemon into his crew and leveling those Pokemon up that he hadn't seen before. So that's what I was trying to do, but I found that super difficult because I don't know which ones suck. I don't know which one.
I didn't know neither.
Which of these fighting Pokemon are garbage.
I traded my team out like 3 different times.
Yeah, and
I've my team as I went.
Yes.
Where before I knew what I wanted and I stuck to that.
Yeah, I want
and
Charizard, I want
the game.
Blastoise, I want Venusaur, I want Pikachu. Like, I'm just going to stick with the mains. Whereas this game, I'm like, I don't know what that Pokemon turns into. I'm calling him Darth Vader. Let's see what the fuck he turns out to be.
Not Darth Vader.
And like, I don't know. A lot of that super, it made me feel like I was playing Blue, like Pokemon Blue again. Because there's so much area to explore and so many things that I don't know about the way this new world works and the changes that they made in smart ways that like keep me invested in it. Like I'd come home from work, closing at work and be like, well, I got to open tomorrow, but could play some Pokemon.
I can play that in bed.
Fuck, man. Yeah, exactly. I can just play Pokemon. I don't know. I think Pokemon stays. I think Pokemon's top 5.
So my things is you have to buy 2 games to enjoy full
I mean, but you
experience.
don't.
No.
Like, fuck it.
No?
You really don't.
There's,
I will.
A total of less than 5 differences
Okay.
between the two.
And most of them you trade to get.
Yeah.
Like,
And they're pretty clear
so,
about that.
So what
Gotcha.
Pokemon, why they do the 2 versions is to keep it a community type of a game where they want you to trade and they want you to talk to you. Like Ryan and I coordinated, like I'm buying Shield. Okay, I'm buying Sword.
Yep.
And those kind of connections that I didn't get to make before in Pokemon games.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I thought it was you had to buy one game and then you buy another to.
I mean, I
Okay.
will
No,
because I
it's
want to
more about
enjoy the game
community.
again.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to play through it a second time.
They should
If that was
they
like
should give you a-
Microsoft, they'd be like, well, if you buy our games 5 times in a row, you'd be able to collect those games and unlock a secret game. That's actually the real game you're supposed to be playing the whole time.
It's actually the good version of Halo 5.
Yeah.
So,
And then is there DLC coming out?
Yes.
Yeah,
They
okay.
just announced DLC. And they've never done that in Pokemon before.
Yeah, that's
ever.
what I'm saying. That's
How much
cool.
is that?
It's $30, so it's
2
cheaper.
expansion packs.
You get
$30.
$30.
That
But
should be included with the game if it's a
I just had
$6
an
game for the
aneurysm.
Switch.
so what it is before there's always red let's do Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, right?
Yeah.
That third game you had to buy to continue the story. This you buy a DLC and you progress through further into the game and learn more about that story in DLC instead of buying a whole $60 new game.
Yeah, so usually they do like Ultra.
Yes,
The Ultra
Sun
versions.
and Ultra Moon.
Yep.
So there's 2 more versions.
So to me, this seems like actually a smarter move and a smarter move for fans
Yeah.
because I think what we won't get this year is another Pokemon game. You
We
will
won't.
get the expansion packs for the current game, which will
That gives them more time to work on
Instead
a
of Sun
new
and Moon, and then Ultra Sun.
exactly,
Ultra Moon.
Ultra,
Yeah,
exactly.
Ultra Sun, Ultra
Yeah.
Moon. Okay.
which is a smart idea.
All right.
That's cool.
Anybody else have any?
Those are the only things I was worried about.
Okay.
To me, I would be willing to trade Pokemon for my friend Pedro. To me,
Right.
I am more passionate about Pokemon and how much it's not only I beat the game and I'm invested in the story. I know I'm making you.
I'm cringing right now,
He's
but
gonna
go
cry.
ahead.
He's gonna cry. But to me, Pokemon has not only like my normal Pokemon, but now I'm working on filling my decks. I've never fully filled the decks before, and I want to because I want to know the new Pokemon and what they can evolve into. I also want to do my Dynamax. I want to max out my Dynamax Pokemon. I want to catch the Gigantamax Pokemon that you can only get in raids. In those Gigantamax raids, like I want to get me, Ryan, and like 2 other people because it's a 4-player thing.
Yeah, to be clear, that's like a co-op raid in a single-player Pokemon, which is a cool thing.
Yeah.
That hasn't really been done before.
No. And in these raids, you take turns in battle. One person can Dynamax at a time, and it's super strategical. Where Pokemon is a strategy game anyway. But there's then who should Dynamax? Who should I bring with me in my team? And you're planning with the other 3 players in your raid to bring the best raid group you can.
Ryan, do you disagree with Troy with taking out my friend Pedro?
I would leave Pedro over Pokemon.
Okay.
Like, I think Pokemon does a lot of cool things. My top 3 would be Control, Pedro, Pokemon.
Wow.
That's left on this list. Those 3 games had the biggest effect on me this year. And I think, like, Pedro straight up invents a new style of game. Okay. Which is fucking amazing. Like, I didn't even know that was still a thing you could do. Like, there's been 30, 40, 50, 40 years of video games. And, like, to see something that inventive come out. And it's not, like, it's a game that I've never played before. A game style that I've never played before and has never been done before. And that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I could sit down and play my friend Pedro for 20 hours.
No, it's not a 20-hour game.
And I could see playing it on the go more so on the Switch.
Yeah.
I'd say
it's not a very long game. Like, it doesn't really overstay its welcome. It understands that you as the player want to get to the end. So each of the levels, maybe take 8 minutes to complete. So you could play it on the go. Like you said, Austyn, you got 8 minutes, on your ride to work or whatever, or you're on break at work and you want to play some Pedro.
On your way into work.
Like, if he commutes, or I don't know what his situation is, but I know listening to some other podcasts, like, that's what they said they did, was like they played it on their commutes and stuff like that. I know that doesn't really affect the people in this room.
Yeah. Not relatable, thanks.
Fuck off. But my friend Pedro is super cool. I think I like the world that Control builds more, but the gameplay in Pedro is second to none, probably. It's so fucking cool.
I think Out of the Outer Worlds is just a huge hit, apparently. That's just like, it's a pretty big release that made a lot of heads turn. A lot of people really liked playing this game.
And you got the realism mode, too.
I think we need to put in at least Star Wars, because I don't think we've eliminated that in. But then again, we've got Outer Worlds there sitting as like a huge release that was very, very good game.
I'm going to... Like, Austyn, you played Star Wars, Days Gone, and Outer Worlds.
Yes.
Out of those 3, which do you think should go?
It's like The
which
Bachelor.
should be next?
Do you have any roses?
Because I think it's kind of up to you on those 3 at this point, because everybody has had really good arguments.
Me at all. Like, I had fun with it for an hour. Like, I probably played it for 10 hours. 5 of that was super enjoyable, and then the other 5 was like, I'm going to try and beat this, and then it completely fell apart for me.
Mm-hmm. Then again, you didn't really play a whole lot of Jedi, though, did you?
I've played about the same amount of Jedi, but I would find a way to play Jedi before I would play Outer Worlds, and Outer Worlds is a free game.
Okay.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
To
me, it's a free game.
3 of those games I've beaten, Star Wars and Outer Worlds. But I know I would definitely play Days Gone over Pokemon Sword and Shield. You made a good argument. I actually want to try it out, to be honest. This would be the first Pokemon game that I would actually play. Yes. Now that I know that I don't have to buy Sword and Shield, I just have to buy the one. I mean, the DLC is $30, but still, that's...
And you don't have to have that neither. And that's the one thing that people were complaining about, was that, because there's Pokemon in the DLC that you don't get in the original game, but you can trade those Pokemon into the regular game without owning the DLC.
So they're not even hiding those Pokemon behind a paywall, which is nice.
So it's just for whales, Ryan.
I wish I could do a whale noise every time you guys. I want to get the soundboard out, and I'm gonna put a fucking whale noise on it.
just picture the sounds you regularly make.
Okay.
But just keep it the same.
Okay, I don't think anybody's gonna attack the ones on the right. Am I correct in saying that?
Those are good, yeah.
So 2 of the ones on the left have to go.
Troy just tried to
and right now I'm
right.
only seeing Jedi, Days Gone, Outer Worlds of those contenders. So 2 of those are gonna have to go. One of them's gonna have to stay. Because I don't think Ryan or Troy's gonna give up Pokemon. And
we can get rid of Outer Worlds over Star Wars. Yeah, I'd pick Star Wars.
Okay.
Star Wars bigger hit. Okay.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Outer
Outer
Worlds.
I'm okay with Outer Worlds going.
Bye-bye.
Unfortunately, I mean,
Honorable
I would go
mention.
the other way, but it's fine. I didn't play enough to say.
I like Star Wars, so
Yep.
biased.
And this is a big Star
But
Wars year,
it's
so
like
it makes
you said,
sense.
it's our game of the year. It doesn't necessarily have to be just because it's Star Wars. Like that can honestly be our opinion. Like,
Yeah. Well, fuck. What do we do now? Now we got
I thought it was obvious. We get rid of Pokemon. Ooh.
we got Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Days Gone, Pokemon Sword Shield. So I think Pokemon Sword Shield reinvents a lot about Pokemon.
We know.
I mean, if you're, I'll fucking argue for it to stay on. Like,
does anybody want to attack Pokemon?
I think Pokemon is the best game left on that side of the map. Or the like. It's better than Jedi. I actively dislike playing Jedi Fallen Order. Like that's
Ryan wants to
not
watch it as a
game-
movie.
That's not a game I want to play. I think the traversal is clunky. I think the powers maybe don't work as well as they're supposed to.
I can concur
think
from what I've seen.
The catching and the grabbing on things, like sometimes doesn't work and sometimes it does, but I don't understand like why.
Yeah.
And like I
can see
love
that.
the story. I want to see that story. I fucking hate playing it. So, and I think I would also fucking hate playing Days Gone. I love that you love it, Cody. That's so, like, that had a huge
I
effect
believe
on
you
you.
would hate it.
No,
just for
you
some
know what I'm
fact.
saying? Like,
I can kind of see the way Ryan plays, and he would go up to the first campment, shoot his gun once, and then fucking just be overran.
well, like, I'd want to explore, and getting overran during my exploration doesn't sound fun at all. Like, all of that sounds terrible. Running out of gas, also fucking terrible. Like,
Zombie apocalypse,
There
man.
are
Or
mechanics
not
that are
zombie
working actively
apocalypse.
against you in that game for most of the game from what you've said. And like,
makes
I
it
fucking
funner.
hate that. I hated Breath of the Wild. I hate the way that fucking plays. Like, I would take off Days Gone and I would take off Jedi Fallen Order and I would leave Pokemon.
We gotta take off one of those.
Well, fuck it. I would take them both off.
I like how you eliminated more than you needed to. We're struggling trying to find one
Ryan,
to take
if
off.
you had to pick Days Gone or Jedi to keep, not saying this is official, but
Okay. I mean,
I know you haven't really played Days Gone.
Like, I have
though,
no
like, you know.
interest in knowing Days Gone as a game. Like, the story doesn't sound interesting. It sounds like a zombie game, and I want to see where Star Wars goes. So I guess that's, yeah.
You can make the same argument for Pokemon.
You can make the same argument, but I can't. I fucking love Pokemon. I
actually
think there
played
are
it. He actually
stories
played it.
left to be told in the Pokemon universe,
Hey,
and I
hey.
think those are being told in this game.
You're misjudging real fast. Okay, I love Pokemon too, but you know, you did say earlier you got to blaze your own trail. I mean,
In this
from what
Pokemon
I'm
game,
hearing,
I
from what I'm
feel
hearing
you
in this
did.
Pokemon game, sure there are slight differences, and sure you get gigantic Pokemon. Which, honestly, in my opinion, I think that's dumb, because why would you inflate something 100 times its size? How could you do that, possibly?
Well, it's
I mean,
just
It is
helium.
a
They just make
add
it
logic.
helium.
I just fucking stuff a helium tank in a Pikachu.
Don't add logic to Pokemon though. 'cause
Yeah,
you're
it-
stuffing
it is
it
a
in
fantasy.
the
I get that,
Can't
but
add logic to
that just
Pokemon.
doesn't.
I think we
Like-
might get in a loop again where we're talking
But
about
no, for my-
inventiveness.
Right, yeah, I see
Yes.
what you're saying.
In my opinion, the only Pokemon that should be huge and gigantic are your legendaries.
Sure, yeah, I mean, you are entitled to that opinion.
But
I mean, they have a reason for, they explain it in the world,
They
all of that
fully
makes
fledged
sense.
that out. Like,
yeah.
that all gets explained in the story.
In
which
the story, which I shouldn't give a fuck about the story in Pokemon.
'Cause there's
and
no
I
voices?
totally
For
do.
me,
Right,
I
'cause
think
there's no voices.
For me, I am convinced that Days Gone is inventive enough of a survival horror where it actually punishes you enough that it actually make Ryan mad, and that for me is a good sign that it is a good game.
I
For
agree.
real.
Go fuck
No,
yourself.
I agree 100%. I honestly
Okay.
do.
So what
I
is
think
it? Does that mean
punishment in a
Days
survival
Gone?
horror is a key point. I think. Wait, which one?
I think Days Gone should
Are you saying
go on.
Days Gone stays then?
I'm okay with Days Gone going on.
over Jedi.
Yes.
I feel like Pokemon is the new Call of Duty.
Is the
I
new Call of
think
Duty?
not.
The new Call of Duty because they're releasing content every year.
No, they've done that since the beginning
Yeah.
of Pokemon. Every year we've
Pokemon has
had
been a
game.
yearly release. It's been iterative every year. It is not inventive as a series up until this
Now.
game. There are
I don't know about
significant
that.
changes
That's
with
not
this
true.
game.
opposite.
That's
I've
not
heard the
true.
opposite.
I mean,
That's
That's fine,
Like,
but those
going
people
from
aren't
pixel
here.
graphics to like legit 3D, like that's that's like Call of Duty, for example, like making that significant change.
If it was
like,
3DS,
and just
I'd
the
be
way
like-
of playing graphics. Like,
If it was on the 3DS, I'd be like, hell fucking yeah, you guys, this is the new best Pokemon. But this is on the Switch, which is an actual like.
and you can't change can't move your camera.
You can, just only in the wild area.
But like they should have, like, if they're gonna go on like a better console than what they had before, which is usually on smaller like gaming consoles, they should have done a little bit more with it.
I respectfully disagree. I think it has been proven that the Switch as a platform has issues with what games it can handle. And like,
Yeah, but
I
still,
don't know
like,
that you should hold that against Pokemon because of the limitations of the platform.
I just think they could have done more with it.
Okay.
But I haven't played it enough to obviously I haven't played it, so I can't really say too much.
Right.
I mean, yeah, this is the stuff that I've been told by other
Yes,
people that have played
yes.
the game.
Right.
That's what I'm arguing about.
Yeah.
'Cause I've never. I mean, yeah, I've heard good stuff about the game. I want to try the game
Yeah.
out, but I mean, there's a lot of bad stuff that I've been hearing about it too.
Okay. I mean, other than the camera thing, like, I don't have anything bad to say about it at all. I think it's pretty engaging. I think the fact that they don't make you have your companion stay with you the whole time is a good move. You only run into them sometimes. Like, as you get to a world, you are free to explore by yourself for the majority of this game, which is an improvement, because I don't care about making sure my companions are with me. I think that the fact that you can camp now and like level up and heal your Pokemon while you're on the road is really cool. So that's a cool mechanic that hasn't been in any other games.
Healing potions.
So I feel
Well,
like
right, but
all
you
this-
like you don't need
instead
to
of
carry
that-
those with. Like, you can camp with them. That's what your backpack's for. And you put out your camping gear, and you can. I mean, the mini game's kind of stupid where you make a like little health
You make
curry for them, yeah.
And that's a whole UK thing is curry,
right.
supposedly.
And like that's kind of whatever. But you can heal your Pokemon while you're on the road, which is never something you've been able to do before. I think the way the game looks is really awesome. The characters look really nice. Most of the environments look really nice. Seeing the Pokemon before you battle them, which they introduced in Let's Go and blew out in this game, is super significant because you just run away from the Pokemon you don't want to fucking catch. Like, just go find one you do want to catch.
Like, instead of running into that Zubat 100 times,
Yep.
go around that fucker.
Within the wild area,
Yes.
there are leveled up Pokemon that you will get your shit fucked up if you try to beat and catch. And that sucks, but also it's a really good way if you, like, you can see them in the world, obviously, and you bring through your type advantage. If you play to your strengths, then you can beat like a level 30 when you've got level 20 Pokemon and get 1,000,000 fucking XP. And that's really cool that you can like go to an area and do that. That's not something that they've had in games before for Pokemon.
So I feel like this is the game that they should have been coming out with. Pretty much.
Yeah.
This is what they should have launched on Switch, and instead they were like, fuck, well, I guess we'll put out Let's Go because people really love that Pokemon Go. Let's Go did not deserve to make it last year, and I'm glad it didn't. Sword and Shield is a way better game.
Okay.
No, here,
I don't know if
you can
anybody
only
has
have
better-
sword or shield. You can't have sword and shield.
Okay, shield.
I don't know if anybody has better arguments for Days Gone and Jedi. Like, I've heard like little stuff, but I haven't heard like as in depth as what they're going because
So-
there's two of them.
Well,
Now there are two of
my
them.
main thing with Days Gone is it capitalizes on what that genre exactly should do. So the genre is a survival horror, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do as a game perfectly because it capitalizes on those different features and mechanics in the game. 1, you have to actually survive. 2, it's horrifying. 3, it's punishing. It's exactly what it's supposed to be doing. It's a quality game because they made it exactly how they should.
But if we're
Star
gonna take
Wars,
in-
like it's maybe a fun game, and like honestly, like part of me thinks that Star Wars would be more fun for me. But if you're into Days Gone because it's a survival horror, like just for me, just because like I don't want to go through something tiring right now, like having to upkeep things, but like once in a while I get in that mood where I just want to punish myself. Scratch that
Jedi
from the
does
record.
that pretty good.
Well, Jedi can do that too.
Jedi does that
Jedi can do
hardcore.
that, but it feels like if I want to have like a fun, easygoing time, I can play Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And maybe that's a shallow take, but I just like the fact that Days Gone does what it's supposed to do as a game.
Okay. If we're going to bring in other people's arguments to our own podcast like we are with Pokemon, I've read probably 8 reviews for Days Gone, watched 3 video reviews, and all of them, those people did not hit with it as hard as Cody did. So from those
people are scrubs.
And maybe I'm just saying, other people have not liked Days Gone in the way that some other people have not liked Pokemon. So I don't think that's a good argument against Pokemon. And I'm not saying it's a good argument against Days Gone. I'm like, I don't know that we should necessarily take that into consideration because it doesn't matter what other people say. It matters what we say. So just for,
future reference.
That influences how games I play. Like, Troy's been talking about Pokemon for the past how long we've been doing this, and I've never once decided, hey, I want to play a Pokemon game, Yeah. This is probably the only time that I have.
Right.
But I mean, I only talked to the one guy because he was really into it, so.
Me personally, I have no interest in playing Days Gone. That's
Agreed.
just me.
Agreed.
But
me either.
Obviously Jedi, because I'm Star Wars biased.
And I like Star Wars.
Like, I just have no interest in playing Days Gone. I love motorcycles. I love zombies. I've played survival horrors, but it just doesn't seem like something I want to do with the maintaining and all that. Like, it's just not.
Yeah.
It's just not my gameplay style. And don't say I just play first-person shooters, because that's not true. I've played a lot of games.
Yeah. That's
it's a little reductive.
Mainly from what I heard. Reductive.
We were in defensive
I'm just going off
mode.
what I heard.
That's fine.
Things were getting hot and heavy.
Yeah.
I'm playing Sekiro, okay? And I'm planning on playing Control. I was going to buy Pokemon, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. There's like many other games that I want to play before that.
Right.
He bought a VR headset.
Yeah.
I did, and that's all I've been playing. I'm not
That's
first.
the
Like, I booted up
time and
Sekiro, and then I started playing Pavlov and got good at Pavlov, and I'm addicted to Pavlov. No, it's
right.
It's
crunch time.
It's not crunch time. It's crunch time.
It's literally person
Which one
shooter.
goes?
Axe.
It
The
is
axe is
VR
at
shooter.
one of these names. The axe.
I think we X Days Gone. That's my opinion.
Well, everybody has an opinion. In my opinion, I'd say Pokemon.
I would say Pokemon too out of all 3 of those.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Out of all 3 of those, Pokemon.
I would say Days Gone.
Days Gone.
Oh no! Well, it's a democracy now. Now
No,
we're
it's
voting.
not. We're not
it's
doing
just
a
a
vote.
opinion.
Okay.
We're just gotta get a feel for the room.
We're at a little bit of a
Troy,
an
listen,
impasse.
man.
part 3 next week, guys.
Troy, listen to me.
We gotta come
I
up with
really,
written statements.
I really love how much you guys love Pokemon, and it sounds like you guys just have a different taste than I do. For me, I love that you guys like it. For me, though, I don't enjoy Pokemon, and I know that
And
hurts.
that's fine,
Yeah,
but you didn't play Days Gone. Like,
But
if
I've-
you had played Days Gone, I could
He didn't
maybe
play
see that
Pokemon
argument.
either.
So he's hearing the arguments from everybody around here, and he's neither played Pokemon either. But he's saying that from what
He's heard.
he's heard, from me and everybody else, that he likes what he's heard from Days Gone.
Thank you, Mom.
Okay. Thank you, Mom.
I see it going both ways.
I don't know. I mean, I
would
would
spank you.
I would say, if we want to keep Days Gone, then I would take off Jedi before I took off Pokemon. If the room feels strongly enough
Mexican
about Days
stand.
Gone, that's fine. But then if we put Days Gone, that's number 5.
Austin, would you put Jedi above Days Gone?
Well,
As
yeah.
in a
Well,
better game?
I said
Obviously.
I'm the one that made the sacrifice here and said Outer Worlds is gone.
That's true.
Yes.
I know, but I'm just wondering. I'm just curious.
I would keep Star Wars above Days Gone, but I would also keep Days Gone in there.
Ooh.
See,
And then, yeah.
I have an impasse like Sam. I've neither played Pokemon Sword nor Shield, and I have not played Fallen Order. But in my opinion, I get rid of Pokemon because to me, it's just more Pokemon. I get they did things differently,
Yes.
but when it boils down, it's just Pokemon.
Yes.
I get that.
Yes.
Gosh, man. To me,
We're
I'm
gonna
still
crack. You know what? You want to make an omelet? You gotta break a few eggs.
Days Gone is just another survival horror game.
I mean, yeah, you can
it's
say
fun.
that.
If we want to be reductionist.
And it's fun. It's fun.
It's fun.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna have
But how
more
many-
tension moments than in Pokemon.
How many are like
Pokemon's
it, though?
not
I
about
get
like
that.
I've had a
tension.
fuck ton of tension moments in Pokemon.
Jesus Christ, you're lying.
I'm not. Dude,
Seriously,
fuck,
yeah.
I can show you the goddamn text messages. I said, Troy, I am getting wrecked in this game. Like, I'm having trouble beating fucking wild Pokemon.
If you're having trouble with that, just play Days Gone.
Yeah.
You'll be texting him saying, fuck this game. I can't get on my goddamn motorcycle to get out of here.
I've ran 4 miles and still have yet to get on my bike again.
Yeah, if you're having that much trouble with Pokemon,
You would.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, they made improvements in this game that make it more challenging. It is to an extent a kid's game in that the mechanics are super simplistic, but real talk, I've played 1 million hours of Pokemon. I'm getting fucked up. It has been really tough and I told Troy, I'm like, dude, I'm running out of Pokeballs. Like, I feel like I'm doing the thing that I'm supposed to be doing, and I don't know, like, it's really difficult.
I no longer care. Any one of these 3 games should go. I don't care anymore.
It's going on like 11.
Like, I don't
Yeah, it
care.
is going on 11.
Like, one of these games need to freaking go.
I say bye-bye Pokemon.
bye-bye Pokemon.
Bye-bye Pokemon.
I can't do it.
That's the consensus.
That's literally 4 people.
That's the consensus.
It's not a democracy.
This is not a democracy.
It's not a consensus.
So how do we
It's not a
figure this
It's not a
out?
democracy,
Yeah, like,
but
right?
I am saying that this is the majority of the savants.
All of our,
It's not a vote.
That's not a
What I'm
vote,
saying
but
is we
what I'm
got
saying
more
is that it's
people
almost
saying
a
it's
vote.
right.
Well, I mean,
Guys, I don't know what else we can do here. Like, I don't know, like...
Top six.
That's what I was about to say.
You can't do a top 6. It's gotta be 5.
All right, are you willing to
does it gotta
sacrifice
be 5?
my friend Pedro?
Just get rid of Jedi. I don't
Listen,
care anymore.
I'm almost willing to sacrifice Sekiro at this point.
Just get rid of Jedi. I don't care anymore.
Bye-bye, Jedi.
Just get rid of Jedi.
yeah, just get rid of it.
Screw it.
Okay.
Bye,
I gotta
Jedi.
wake up early.
Okay. Brent told me I gotta be at work at 6:30.
Control at number 1. Sekiro number 2. My friend Pedro number 5.
Nope. Days Gone at 5.
No.
Well, why does Day Gone gotta be 5?
Oh, no.
I didn't play Pedro because I had no interest to me. I never played My Friend Pedro.
Dude, you're fucking high. You need to play My Friend
Fuck
Pedro.
that. No, I looked it up and I had no appeal towards it. Like, I looked at it and I literally watched videos
Is
on
that
it.
a banana joke?
No.
Is this your order, Ryan?
I
Is
already
this-
made that joke. That's
Is
what
this
I was
your
gonna
order?
say.
No, I'm just putting him over here. No,
All right, read them off.
okay.
From the bottom up.
Yep.
In no
In
order.
Ryan's list right here.
In no order. From the bottom up. Days Gone. Pokemon Sword Shield.
Fucking Malcolm.
My Friend Pedro. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Control. I mean, fuck you guys. If you want My Friend Pedro last, I'll put Pedro last, but it's
I
better
want
than
it
Days
last.
Gone. You're fucking
I want
high.
it last.
You
Put
are
it
high.
last. Put it last.
Put it last.
We had to sacrifice Star Wars. You put that
Fine.
bitch last.
Fine.
Is this our official order?
No.
I mean,
we do not have
what?
enough time for an official order.
are you for real?
I don't mind this official order. I think this
I
is
actually
fine.
don't mind it either.
I don't.
Control is, I think, personally, the best game that came out this year.
Well, the only
Control's
reason I don't
fucking
want
amazing.
Sekiro to be number 1 is because it already was Game of the Year.
Yeah, and
It is Game of the Year. Let's just say that. But we'll put it at number 2 on our list.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
like the good job,
Okay.
Colin.
Yeah,
I
make
like
that. Make that.
because
for the
Control did
dilution.
not get enough love this year. I don't think enough people played it, and it's fucking awesome.
Days Gone is not going to win against Pokemon Sword and Shield because these two are way more passionate about it
Yep.
than Days Gone. Oh, I'm not saying they are, but I'm saying they have better arguments. I'm not saying they loved it more than you loved Days Gone.
No, I get what you're saying.
Okay. And then my friend Pedro Ryan was
Okay.
going to sacrifice it. He's probably the only one that even wants it higher, but he's
Okay,
going to
so
sacrifice that.
here we go. From the bottom up, here's our already organized top 5. Number 5, My Friend Pedro. Number 4, Days Gone. Number 3, Pokemon Sword Shield. Number 2, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Number 1, Control. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done, everybody. This was a goddamn challenge. We have been the Idiot Savants. This is Crazy Train of Thought. What is it? 2019?
2020.
Idiot
Royale.
Royale.
Game of the Year.
Video
Part 2.
game part 2. Whatever the
video.
fuck this is
4
called.
hours.
Whatever this is called. We are out of here. Thank you, Troy.
Bye.
Thank you, Cody, Sam, Austyn, Colin,
Malcolm.
Malcolm.
Malcolm. See y'all later.
Adios.
Bye.
That's all, folks.
It is.
Spinach with a G at the end.
What?
Spinach G?
Spinach.
Are we ready?
Why
Yeah,
does
we're
a G
ready.
make a J sound when it's not followed by a
Because
vowel?
it's GIF.
Good.
Yeah, but
Oh, you mean Jeff?
I'm not going to try to argue with
No, I mean
incompetent people.
I mean GIF. It's a GIF. GIF is with a J.
GIF. I call it a
GIF.
GIF.
GIF peanut butter
GIF because it's my last name. GIF.
is with a J.
But you should really get Skippy because that's better.
Shut up.
What about Jiffy peanut butter?
Isn't that a thing?
Do you
Crunchy
remember
or
Jiffy
smooth?
peanut
I remember
butter?
Jiffy peanut
Crunchy
butter.
or smooth?
I remember.
Smooth.
That's some
You're a
fucking
liar.
Mandela effect shit. Jiffy peanut butter.
Sam, crunchy or smooth
I can
peanut
see
butter?
the fucking logo in my
I
head.
do remember it.
Both?
Yeah, I
At
prefer
once?
smooth, but like crunchy, I can definitely eat crunchy. It's not a problem.
I prefer
Same
crunchy. No time. I made a PBJ the other day for the first time in like 10
What
years.
is crunchy peanut butter without peanut butter is just peanuts on bread.
Okay, we're talking steak. We're talking peanuts. Let's go to Texas Roadhouse.
I'm down. Let's go.
All right.
I have a gift card.
Screw the podcast. We'll do the podcast there.
That's a GIF card.
Wait, what?
We'll do the podcast there. I'll buy some lapel mics.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
Be good.
All right. We got to get this show rolling here, boys. Are you guys ready?
Hold on.
Everyone ready?
Hold on. Okay, I got
I'm
it.
ready.
Oh, I'm not ready. Okay. I am ready now. I'm a Milky Way bar.
I'm a beef jerky stick.
I'm a Twix.
I'm a nice juicy steak. That's
I'm a monster. Why'd you guys interrupt?
I'm sorry.
go again,
I'm used
try
to go
again,
bing,
try
bang,
again.
bing.
The
bong.
audience doesn't know.